Hello, everyone. How you doing? Hope you're having a great weekend so far. If you're in the States, it is a long weekend, so that's a lot of fun. Today, we're going to be looking at more meme stock meltdowns and reactions to the ongoing eBay acquisition saga. Morance has his 5-year anniversary of being a YouTuber, at least covering this stuff, so we'll look at his little retrospective on his 5 years of losing money and giving bad financial advice to his viewers. We also have Mikey's money being delusional and planning to throw away $15,000 that he shouldn't at 21 years old. We have posts from the apes getting upset about dilution, plenty of delusion, and maybe some pee-pee show. But we have a lot to look at today. Excited to hang out with you guys and discuss it. Should be fun. So, let's see what I missed in chat. Mr. Blast, thanks for 60 months, says, woohoo, I'm 60. Not quite yet. Thanks for your subscription. Rick M, thanks for 35 months, says, happy anniversary. Thanks, Hannah, for all the delusional folks, especially me, right? Ashley One Up with 42 months says, like these guys and their stocks, you'll never be rid of me. Good. I would like you all to stick around. Ideally, if I could get you guys to sign a contract that says you'll watch my show every day for the rest of your lives, I'd really appreciate it. You can find the document on my Dropbox. Lilac Rosenberg says, notice me, Satan, oh whoa, and there's a link to a TikTok.
God elects our leaders. It's clear in the Bible. God elects our leaders and moves those...
This is a parody, it looks like, by the way, if anyone... This is definitely a Poe thing, I think.
...leaders into seats of authority.
Well, oh yeah, that's Onyx the Fortuitous. I knew his voice sounded familiar. Yeah, he does characters.
In America, I think we believe the people elect the leaders.
Now, yeah, you would think that, Chuck.
No, I don't think that, Phil. The Constitution thinks that.
Yeah, oh, no, so what you would prefer, you'd prefer that we be a godless nation, huh?
He's good at character work. I will continue this in a sec, but real quick, we are on a hype train. If you're on Twitch and want to help support the stream, you can always use bits, gift subs, or become a subscriber yourself and avoid those annoying ads. Terradona, thanks for a 200 stream streak. Jade Monkey, thanks for 30 months. Medicated Person, thanks for 65 stream streak. Caesar Bishop, thank you so much for gifting a sub. Unstable Deadbeat with 10 months says, the thing I love most about meme stock streams is these guys make me feel better about all the bad decisions I've made in my life, like reality television. Yeah. Sweet Lily Love says, here's some bits for Sears stock. Thank you very much.
You'd prefer a bunch of heathens.
Video's quiet. Hopefully that'll help a bit.
Running around, murdering and raping everyone. You like murder and rape, Chuck?
No, Phil, I don't like murder and rape. But on the topic of spiritual...
That is quiet. Is there a volume slider? There is on TikTok. There we go.
Duality.
Wannabe with 500 bits says level up and gets us over level 1 of the hype train. Thank you so much.
America is a secular nation. Our founders intended that we would have freedom of religion and a government free of religion.
You're a fucking dumb bitch, you dumb ugly bitch. I bet your fucking pussy stinks, dumb ugly bitch. Sorry, I blacked out. What'd I say? Did I cross a line? I blacked out. Oh, God. Work through me. You're a bitch.
That's pretty funny. All right. This is terrible. And this is AI, but I just wanted to show you that meme stock people are spending their time, I'm not joking, making many, many AI songs about Ryan Cohen, GameStop, and now the eBay acquisition. It's like a creepy new religious movement. Isn't that great? Imagine spending your time listening to this.
Yeah. The chart we're looking at is in GME. The merger is looking mighty good to me. Ryan's been secretly buying up the store. Next thing you know, he'll fire all of eBay's board. Ryan took 5%, made it 6.5%, buying synthetic longs with an evil laugh. It's only a matter of time. Click.
It's interesting that they uploaded the song that even describes Cohen as having an evil laugh. Does it make him look Good.
Clack and tick.
It is an AI song. Someone still approved it and uploaded it to YouTube.
The offer is on the table.
AI music, I don't even know what to call it. I don't like calling it music. AI music simulacra always has this buzz. I don't know how to explain it. It's like there's a constant ee throughout the entire song that I can hear. Does that make sense? It's like there's some constant through line tone that never stops. I don't know how to explain it.
Cash and half stock. I didn't trust the flood, I didn't panic, sell and fold. Held tight through all that weakness, kept my nerve and never sold. If you're keeping track of every trade and slip, check my order history. I've been buying every dip. Ryan, I've been buying dips all year, dreaming of more ass, confident with every share. When the charts look cursed and everyone jumped ship, I just grabbed my shares and bought another dip.
Reminder that this is the one photo that Ryan Cohen took with Carl Icahn, and to this day, years later, many of them still believe that Carl Icahn is working in the background with Ryan Cohen to destroy short sellers because of this one photo.
Ryan, I loaded up so good this time. Diamond hands are aching, but still they shine. Hostile takeover, half stock and half cash. When that happens, we're riding straight to Moash. Ryan went on a media tour, started with CNBC. They didn't understand, couldn't see what we see. What was
They couldn't understand because he didn't answer the question, and the question was, how are you financing this? And he didn't answer the question. It wasn't a lack of understanding, it's that he wasn't answering the question.
so hard it's on the website.
Spotify's now allowed premium users to make AI covers of songs, another reason to drop Spotify. Does anyone have any alternatives? Because I have Spotify, it's what I've used for years, and I've seen this stuff get added. Is there another service that's similar that doesn't do this shit?
Honestly, half cash and half stock became a meme. Instantly, how are you gonna pay for it? What a stupid question. It's
Use Apple Music. Can you get Apple Music on Android devices?
on the website that faces with stupid expressions. You play stupid games and you win stupid prizes.
There is an Android app. Okay. I'll get to
Half
it.
cash and half stock, no compromises. I didn't fear the drawdown, wasn't my first rodeo. Trusted in Ryan.
Is there any way to transfer your playlists? Because I have like literally hundreds and hundreds of songs on playlists. That's gonna be a pain. I'll do it when I have to, but you know.
Didn't fold even when the price got low. If Ryan has a plan and he finally lets it rip,
Thanks for the hype train, everyone.
I just want you to know
If you sub to YouTube Premium, you already have YouTube Music. Oh! Well, then I already have YouTube Music. I'll probably use that then.
I've been buying every dip. Ryan, there's a 5K order block, do it twice.
All right, we get it. It's a generic AI song that they can use to worship Cohen. Very weird. Bittergrin with 100 bits says, I use Deezer. It lacks some of the Spotify bells and whistles, but you can filter AI music. Oh, that's a good touch. Anyway, we'll start with this video today. For those who maybe didn't see the last couple meme stock meltdown videos and haven't been catching up with what's going on with the GME apes and everything, Ryan Cohen, the CEO of GameStop, decided to provide an unsolicited offer to buy eBay, you know, the online website where you sell stuff that you don't want anymore, car parts, books, Blu-rays, whatever. You know what eBay is. This is kind of funny, because eBay is a much larger company than GameStop. Now, of course, leveraged mergers, or rather leveraged buyouts, are a thing. This happened recently with Paramount buying Warner Brothers, the Ellisons, and all that fucked up shit. Cancel Paramount Plus if you have it. Probably end up canceling HBO too. Anyway, but this offer that they gave was ridiculous, even by the standards of leveraged buyouts. eBay's board rejected the offer. Ryan Cohen is still pursuing a hostile takeover by buying up stock. Right now, they currently own, I think, 25,000 or so eBay shares derivatively, so they don't actually own the stock currently. They own call put pairs, so they have like derivatives. How do I explain this in a short way? They don't necessarily own the stock right now, although they do own some. What they have right now mostly is contracts that allow them to buy eBay stock at a specific strike price, and they paired them with put options to try and cover their liability. So in case anything goes really wrong, they won't lose out on a ton of money, if that makes sense. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is they're doing a hostile takeover, which basically no one at eBay wants. The people I've seen that are eBay sellers are not interested in Ryan Cohen taking over. I think he would be very bad for the company. Most people do. He's a bad CEO. But of course, the GameStop people are hyped. They are excited. They're treating this like a war. They're acting as though Ryan Cohen is their president or god emperor that's going to invade eBay. And they are at his beck and call to try and convince everyone on the internet that he is so right and everyone should bow down to Ryan Cohen. So, let's take a look at Mikey's money and what he has to say about this. This guy actually makes me pretty sad because he is 21 years old. In 2026, he is 21 years old, and he is fully in the GameStop and AMC meme stock cults. I don't know if you did this math immediately in your head. When the meme stock stuff started in 2021, this kid would have been 15 or 16 years old. He wouldn't have even been legally old enough to participate in the 2021 meme stock thing, but presumably he saw it from the sidelines or illegally downloaded Robinhood on his phone and just lied about his age and participated, and he's been stuck in this since he was literally a child. He's still kind of a child. He's 21. He's not very old. But, like, he's an adult, but he's a very young adult. And it seems like his decision-making has been shaped by this online cult since his adolescence, which is not good. Those are very formative years. And I don't know if this kid is ever going to be able to escape from this, similar to people basically being raised in cults. He doesn't have a frame of reference outside of this, so he doesn't know how abnormal this is. Anyway, enough of me bloviating. Let's go ahead and take a look at his video.
Welcome back to the channel. So this video is going to be a little bit different. As you guys could tell, just like Roaring Kitty, I have the headband on, and I believe it's going to stay on for a foreseeable future.
Sorry, real quick, what you need to understand also is that insofar as you compare GameStop meme stock people to some sort of cult or religious movement as a metaphor or point of comparison, Ryan Cohen is like the Messiah figure, right? Ryan Cohen is sort of like the Jesus in this allegory. He's the savior, he's the Messiah. Roaring Kitty, who proclaimed that Ryan Cohen was going to be this CEO that was going to save GameStop and turn it around and be this big thing, is more equivalent to someone like, in the biblical canon, John the Baptist, or like a prophet who foretold the coming of the Messiah. So they kind of hold them both in high esteem. Ryan above Roaring Kitty, but Roaring Kitty has an important place in the canon because he is the one that spread the good news about Ryan Cohen in the early days, if that makes sense.
Because I'm trying to be like Roaring Kitty or anything, but because this is a freaking movement that every single one of us is part of. So honestly, I feel like everyone needs to get this red bandana and send a message to these hedge fund sick bastards that
70 years from now, those headbands will be considered religious regalia.
they're gonna burn in hell.
Have to allow you to wear them during driver's license photos, like Pastafarians.
You know? And send a message to these hedge fund sick bastards that they're gonna burn in hell. I got the green beer, so I might be talking a little bit slurred. I am 21 years old. And actually, this isn't beer. I'm just kidding. It's just green apple juice or something like that. But I just wanted to be real with
He doesn't know for sure. His mom bought it.
you guys. Me personally, I have been a gambling addict. And I have purchased an insane amount of June 18th 25 strike calls.
It's not endearing to call yourself a gambling addict like you know it. I used to do this when I was still an alcoholic and drinking all the time. I'd also make sort of self-effacing jokes about, oh, I'm such an alcoholic. I knew it was true, but it was a way of sort of alleviating the discomfort of that by putting into a joke context. Feels similar to me.
And they are down a little bit, like about 20%. And I am planning on buying more on Monday. Now, I'm a risk taker and I'm not telling anyone to follow what I'm doing. I believe there is a chance that the $25 calls expiring on June 18th are going to print. But on the flip side, I might just get boned and lose everything. Now, the only reason I'm willing to take this risk on GameStop is because I do have a $15,000 check coming in.
This is so frustrating to listen to. Listen to this 21-year-old. I know the vast majority of my audience most are even older than me or around my age. Imagine that you were 21, whenever you were 21, and you were about to get some sort of lawsuit settlement check for $15,000. Think back to when you're 21 and all the smart things you could have done with that $15,000 that would have benefited you in the long term if you had utilized it in an intelligent way. And then hear this 21-year-old talking about what they're going to do with $15,000. Oh, Felix is 21. Young one.
Now, the only reason I'm willing to take this risk on GameStop is because I do have a
$15K was more than all the money you had at that age. That's more money than I have now. I'm 32. I guess if you count equity in my house, it's not, but like cash money. Cash, liquid money. I have assets. I'm in my 30s.
$1,000 check coming in.
Hydrate, will do.
Very soon. And I'm not even saying like this to flex on anybody. I'm just letting you guys know that there's two scenarios that are going to happen on June 18th. My June 18th $25 calls are cooked and GameStop stays trading where it's at, but the check's going to come in and I'm planning on buying either 1,000 GameStop warrants or 1,000 GMEU shares. So
he's gambling with it. He's gambling with it. He's going to receive a check for $15,000, an amount of liquidity that would be life-changing for many poor and working-class people, myself included. And he's going to put it all on red. Red being GameStop. This kid is going to regret this someday. Someday this kid is going to be older and in a really desperate situation, and they're going to have wished they had done literally anything else than this. Put it in as a certified deposit even. Do anything. Don't do this. Literally, I think the market is so irrational right now and detached from the reality of the economics of people who actually do the work in this country. But it is, like, high, relatively. Over the last 5 years, if you had invested in basically anything, dartboard, you throw something at it, you could have made money. And all these people have just lost and lost for 5 years, and none of them have learned a thing. Equity index fund, even that you gotta be careful about, like, index funds now, because stuff like, is it the S&P? Is it the S&P that's doing this? Putting, SpaceX into the S&P, even though they have, like, they're changing the qualifications to be in the S&P specifically for SpaceX. It's bad. This is going to be bad. So much liquidity is about to be sucked out of Americans' 401ks and put directly in Elon Musk's pocket to make him a trillionaire. If you don't know, that's what's about to happen. I know this is a tangent, but this is on my mind, and I don't know when else I'm going to get to talk about it. The financial systems that control the market are literally changing the rules So your 401ks and other investment instruments, which pull from, the S&P, the Dow, different things that are generally considered high quality stocks because they're put on these indexes, they're changing the rules just so Elon can get in, and your 401k money from your job or whatever investments are going to go in his pocket, and any risk associated with it isn't going to be on him. It's going to be on you and your 401k. So enjoy that. Enjoy that. Isn't everything great? This is so much better than pensions. This is so much better than pensions.
Either my call options print and we have it made and are rich, or we get boned, but then 15k comes in and we buy shares and hold long term. Not even long term, because I believe the squeeze is coming very soon. So that's my personal thing, and I just want to be completely 100% honest with you guys. I'm 21 years old and I have made a lot of mistakes in investing. Not
Kind of feels like you've just made the same mistake over and over again. You haven't made many mistakes. You have made the same mistake constantly. Which is worse?
Not everybody's perfect, and I myself have made a lot of mistakes. The best advice I could give to anyone coming into trading is to buy shares and hold long term.
Wow, it took 5 years, but they finally understood. Maybe they did learn something. Incorrectly applied to GameStop, mind you, but generally, yes, it is a good idea to not day trade and try and get rich quick or easy. And yeah, investments are a long-term thing if you're doing so responsibly. GameStop is not the move for that.
Which is what I'm planning on doing when I get my settlement check. I'm buying either 1,000 GameStop warrants or 1,000 GMEU shares. Because if GMEU is sitting at around $8, I'm buying 1,000 shares for $8,000. And more than likely, I will be buying a couple thousand AMC shares if we're still sitting at $1.50. Now, before I do get into this video, guys, if you are new to the channel,
the fact that he's into AMC is sadder too, because if you're not familiar, AMC has crashed way, way harder than GameStop has over the last 5 years. Can I get this in full? It would be appreciative. Let's see, right now, AMC is at $1.50. If you look at the 5-year chart, it was at, during their meme stock pump, $500, and now it's gotten down to $1.50, which is quite a loss. I think that's like a 99% loss over time or something.
make sure to go down and subscribe.
Why are these people obsessed specifically with GameStop and AMC stocks? Because it's a cargo cult. Do you know what a cargo cult is? Or do I have to explain that? Let me know, because it will depend on how I explain this. I can use cargo cults as a shorthand if you understand it. If not, you do. Okay. So basically, back in 2021, due to a variety of once-in-a-lifetime circumstances, all conglomerating caused GameStop and AMC shares to jump up in price by ridiculous amounts. GameStop, AMC, and Bed Bath ended up being a part of it when Ryan Cohen jumped into that, but that's a different story. Basically, Roaring Kitty, who is the guy that wore the red headband that this guy is emulating. I'll show you him real quick. His name was Keith Gill. This is the guy.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Roaring Kitty. This channel revolves around live streams where I share my daily routine of tracking stocks, performing investment research, and a whole bunch of boring stuff like that. Lately, it just seems like there's been heightened interest in the stock market, especially among investors new to the industry, right? And for these folks, I'm thinking seeing a legitimate investment process like mine in action day to day could help set you on the right path to building out your own investment process over time. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be doing some boring stuff on this stream, like analyzing financial statements, looking at spreadsheets.
So he sounds boring from this video. I've never found him entertaining even back in the day, but a lot of people do. He wore a red headband very famously. Anyway, so he was giving sort of pseudo-financial advice, talking about his particular trading strategy back in 2020, 2021. and he decided that he was going to invest in GameStop. Now, his thesis was that it was over-shorted. A short sale is basically when someone votes against a company instead of voting for it by buying a share. Simplified way of explaining it. So he thought it was over-shorted and that there was an opportunity to make a bunch of money by getting into GameStop stock. He saw that the PlayStation 5 was coming out soon, the new Xbox. He believed that the company would be doing better than it would be. His thesis was not a giant Moas short squeeze like a lot of the apes turned into. It was just that you could make a modest amount of money on eBay, or rather, sorry, on GameStop if you bought in and held for a while. What happened, though, was this stuff got introduced to the internet, and Reddit in particular. The Wall Street's Bet subreddit, which is full of degenerate day traders, started getting into this. Eventually, discussions started getting so heated and annoying that the Wall Street Bets subreddit ended up banning the GameStop discussion, so they went into their own subreddit, Super Stonk. Okay, the bet is set for the rest of it. So now, what happens is COVID hits. Global pandemic. Everyone's fucked. People are at home, they're worried, they're scared. Many people lost their jobs or were going without pay or didn't know what was going to happen. We got stimulus checks. So people had some cash on hand that was suddenly thrust at them. They already felt hopeless about the situation, so they didn't want to do anything that was necessarily constructive with it. You know, people did. A lot of people did. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm saying enough people saw this as an opportunity to blow some money. It became a meme on Reddit, which was more popular at the time. Reddit's less popular these days, I think. But Reddit blew up about all these conspiracy theories about the short interest and everything. So a bunch of people piled into GameStop hoping to start a short squeeze. A short squeeze is basically when someone has shorted a stock or bet against it. If the price goes high enough, you basically force them to buy back stock at the higher price so they can cover their short sales. That happened to an extent, but most of what was happening was accidental market manipulation. Basically, this online meme allowed a bunch of people who had never traded in their lives to download the Robinhood app or one of the other apps that allow you to do instant transfer, instant cash transfer trading. And people were buying GameStop at ridiculous prices. So the price shot up hundreds and hundreds of percent to a ridiculous level, which wasn't ever sustainable. And then eventually, the hype died down. People were still buying into this stock at like $500. Those people were left holding bags. So they stuck around and kept trying to re-get this once-in-a-lifetime event to happen. That's the cargo cult aspect, is they saw this weird thing happen once that will never happen again in our lifetimes, likely, and they decided, I bet we can manufacture this. So for 5 years, they have been trying to remanufacture what happened in 2021 and get the stock to shoot up thousands of percent, which is never reasonable. That's not how stocks generally work. Sure, some people get lucky and crazy things happen, but by and large, that is not how things work. You make little gains over longer periods of time and they build up and compound. These people don't want to do this. They want to get rich quick, and they saw some people do it in 2021, and they're obsessed with that idea.
Because it is going to get
Did that explain it?
real with GameStop and AMZ stock, and a lot of people are doubting it right now. A lot of people are calling for 17, and it is possible that it could happen. At the end of the day, it is a gamble. That's why I suggest to buy shares, which is what my plan is to do. But as of right now, I'm balls deep in call options, and I'm going to keep buying more because I have been grinding for cash to buy these June 18th 25 strike calls, and it could go worthless. But I just explained my plan. So to that, cheers, because over the next couple of weeks, we're going to have it made or we're going to have it made. So there's like no in between. Great Green apple juice. Let's go. So today we're going to be going over the weekly chart for GameStop. Now last week obviously wasn't a good week. We closed down 11% from a high of $24.37 to a low of $21.46, where we did hit a low. We have all these bearish indicators. Bear beware. You're in for a scare, you sick bastards. So yeah, it is.
You're down. They're in for a scare. You've lost money.
Is looking bearish, and the bears are thinking they are winning right now. And
oh, also, I need to point this out. This is stupid because the way they talk about this, if you're not familiar with the stock market, you might not pick up on this. The fact that he's blaming shorts for the price going down is weird. That's not a normal thing. There are all sorts of things that cause prices to fluctuate in the market. The idea that it is only or even primarily short interest that reduces the price in stock is delusional and paranoid. They think they're in this war with short sellers. They're not. By the way, if you're curious, at the time of the original squeeze, I think GameStop was shorted at like 120% or something. Might have even been 140 at one point. So it was ridiculously shorted. It's not at that point anymore. I don't know. The last time I looked, I think it was only like 20% shorted or something. But not what it used to be. That's for sure.
who knows? At the end of the day, this is a freaking war that we are in. The Bears versus the Bulls. I'm on the Bull side. I am bullish more than ever on GameStop and AMC stock. And like I said, I could be wrong, so please do not take this as financial advice. But we have these
I don't even know why they bother with the "this isn't financial advice" thing. It's never mattered. The SEC doesn't give a fuck what anyone does anymore. Do whatever.
signals. We also have these bullish signals, right? One thing we're going to be going over in this video is the on balance.
If you're looking to do some insider trading, now would be a great time to do it, by the way. That's a joke. Don't do illegality. But the SEC doesn't give a fuck.
Volume. The indicator is called OBV. And as you guys notice, I have it under here on the chart. I'll bring it up a little. Back in May of 2024, it spiked up to all-time highs. Back in 2021, it spiked up to all-time highs. Guess what? It stayed trading sideways. We got another squeeze.
Yeah, that was because Roaring Kitty came back and pumped the stock. And then Ryan Cohen diluted and dropped the price again.
Now we're chilling at all-time highs, and we've been chilling at all-time highs for 2 years, guys.
Chilling at all-time highs for 2 years, aka we've been trading sideways for 2 years.
Guys, 2 years, but we're trading at the same price. What do you think?
How has inflation been during that period, by the way? Because factoring in inflation, it being the same price means it's worth less now, even though it's the same numerical price. The power of that number is lesser because of inflation, so that's
What's going to happen next? There's going to be another leg up, in my opinion, and AMC is going to follow. I mean, if you want to talk about...
Look at AMC's chart. It goes up and then it just flat lines. If this was a patient, they'd be declared dead.
Bone City, AMC got boned. But let's look at the perspective from right here freaking to day.
Yeah, if we zoom into the 1 day chart, it looks great.
Hey, forget.
I forget, are you day trading this? Oh, you're not. Oh, okay. So why are we looking at the 1 day chart?
About what happened in the past. CEO of AMC just bought 250,000 shares. AMC is sitting at $1.50. It was just at 90 cents, $2, $1.50. We have been
Didn't AMC do an earnings call recently where they announced their last quarter results and they were absolutely abysmal? Hold on, AMC quarterly earnings. Let me take a look. Sorry, I'll play this while I'm looking.
trading in this level the whole year. And I believe it is a good spot to accumulate, because when the squeeze does happen, we are going to see a god candle. In the comments, you could say, oh, this guy's
Who owns AMC? AMC is a publicly traded company. It's its own company.
just coping. This guy's just coping because it hasn't happened. Well,
Yep.
when it does happen, I'm going to tell you bastards,
Yeah, their net loss last quarter was $117.1 million. Yeah, they're not doing great.
nothing. Because I
Curious if the summer movie months will be good to them or not, because even though movies tend to be cyclical, summer's a really good time for movie theaters relative to other times of the year, sometimes other holidays. But even so, movie theater attendance has dipped post-COVID, so I don't know if they're going to ever recover from that. Not to say there won't be movie theaters, heck, there are still some drive-in theaters these days, but I don't know if AMC is going to stick around.
I love the haters. It's just going to be the biggest I told you so.
There's no Ryan Cohen arc for AMC.
History, guys. And I could be wrong. But at the end of the day, you only live once, boys and girls. I'm sorry, but you only live once. And you want to be in a movie, guys? Do you want to live this life in a movie because you only live once? This is the movie, guys. AMC and GameStop. Meme stocks. Make fun of it. Everyone's making fun of it. Jim Cramer, that freaking sick bastard, is making fun of
He calls everyone sick bastards and say they all belong in hell, you'll notice.
it. Well, I promise you, he's not going to be making fun of it when the truth comes out. So I kind of looked it up on ChatGPT because, let's be real,
All these mockers and scoffers will know their place when the rapture, Moas, happens. Ashley Oneup says, don't know how much of this you can play, but these guys talking about their stocks reminded me of this scene.
The disco record sales were up 400% for the year ending 1976. If these trends continue, hey!
I love Disco Stew in his goldfish shoes.
ChatGPT is smarter than every human there possibly is. Am I right or am I wrong? AI is taking over, and who knows where we're going to be in 3 years. It's going to be pretty scary. But AI, kind of looked it up on ChatGPT because, let's be real, ChatGPT is smarter than every human there possibly is.
I'm not here for shitting on the youths, okay? I don't like, and I've seen this from other millennials being like, oh, Gen Alpha, or even they talk about Gen Z, which are mostly adults now. Just like boomers used to call millennials kids when we were in our, adults. Anyway, I've seen them shit on entire generations. Let me be clear, I am not doing that. I would hope that most of Gen Alpha does not have this opinion, and if they do, they will learn better as they get older. Maybe it's just an experience thing. But for this particular kid, no, ChatGPT does not know anything. That's not how this works. It's going to give you wrong answers constantly. It's going to flatter you and tell you you're right, basically no matter what, if you talk to it right. The idea that you think ChatGPT is smarter than anyone on Earth demonstrates that you do not understand what intelligence is. And to me, it illustrates that you might not be very intelligent yourself if you're very impressed by ChatGPT. Because to me, the people who are most interested and hype ChatGPT that aren't the people selling it are idiots who don't know what being smart is like or don't know what smart, intelligent conversation is. But they talk to a bot that can string sentences together and flatters them, and they assume it must be smart because it makes them feel good. Just a thought.
Am I right or am I wrong? AI is taking over, and who knows where we're going to be in 3 years. It's going to be pretty scary, but AI is smart. So I made this post right now. I said, wait, So you're telling me, Mr. AI, is that for 2 years people have been accumulating GameStop and the price has
You've seen plenty of millennial and boomers with this opinion in Gen X. Yeah, which is why I said it's not a generational thing. I was clarifying.
Not
I'm
moved.
talking about this individual.
The price will be reflected sooner than later. So I posted this screenshot to ChatGPT. I said, what does the on-balance volume mean when it's been at all-time highs for 2 years?
Trevor says, in which Hannah insults every CEO and sniper teams are commissioned. I'm not popular enough in any way to be targeted by anyone. Like 200 people regularly watch me. I basically don't exist.
ChatGPT AI, the smartest thing on this planet Earth, said on balance volume tries to measure whether volume is flowing into or out of a stock by adding volume on up weeks and subtracting volume on down weeks. If on balance volume has been sitting near all-time highs for 2 years, like what your chart appears to show, it can suggest long-term accumulation. Buyers have generally been outweighing sellers over time, even if the price hasn't exploded. Stronger holder base. Shares may be staying in stronger hands.
Okay, I'm going to skip him reading Chat GPT because it's Chat GPT.
Volume being at all-time highs is huge for GameStop stock. Ryan Cohen literally just retweeted this. He said responsibilities include finding out where the money is going. So this guy said, following sharp questions from GameStop CEO Ryan Cohen over its $2.4 billion marketing spend, eBay is now recruiting a senior manager of marketing effectiveness. So Ryan Cohen said you'd think with $2.4 billion in marketing spending, they could log in to X. eBay said, please note that X direct messages will close on March 11th. You can still get support via our help at contact center page, ebay.to, whatever the hell. Select contact
People hate X.
us to chat with
Does he know that people that aren't chuds fucking hate Twitter now?
our automated assistant or
If you're still on Twitter, I'm very disappointed in you, by the way.
contact an agent. eBay is going to hell right now, and Ryan Cohen is going to take it over.
Fenigami with 40 bits says, the primary problem Gen Z and Gen Alpha have is that they were the first generations that have had the algorithmic social media exist their whole lives and now AI. This is why they seem to be suffering from the negative societal impacts of both worse than most other generations. And to be clear, that's not their fault. That's the adults' fault. That's capitalism's fault. It's not the fault of people how they were raised and how society raised them.
Over, and it is going to be a merge. And
I do worry about like attention spans, but that's a pretty common thing older people have said about younger generations for eternity, so I'm probably just a boomer.
Roaring Kitty's gonna be a billionaire, and it's gonna happen again. History's gonna happen right before our freaking eyes, and I'm just letting you know. This guy said we are probably going to witness a creeping takeover. GameStop is going to gradually purchase shares of eBay through the open market. In the end, GME will gain control of eBay without paying the shareholders a premium. So this article says, what is a creeping takeover? In mergers and acquisitions, a creeping takeover...
Like, I've heard some, and again, this is not necessarily a generational thing, but I've heard it mostly from younger people. You guys know how into movies I am, and that there's younger people that don't watch movies and don't like movies because they can't pay attention to them. And that's so interesting to me, because, like, movies are entertainment. Movies are the fun thing to me, movies are the fun thing you do. You enjoy watching them. What do you mean you can't watch it? Like it's a chore? It's a movie. You know what I mean? Feels like you're offering a kid, like, hey, do you want a bar of chocolate? And they're like, no, I hate chocolate. Like, what do you mean you hate chocolate? I don't know.
Takeover, also known as creeping tender offer, is the gradual purchase of the target company's shares. The strategy of creeping takeover is to gradually acquire shares of the target through the open.
Dr. Worm says, no, attention spans are definitely a serious problem. It's also common now for people to watch movies and shows sped up at 1.25 just to get through them faster. I hate that shit. Like YouTube videos, depending on what they are, okay, I can see that, especially if someone speaks slowly. But a narrative? Oh, God.
Mark
Sacrilegious.
it, with the goal of gaining a controlling interest. So we all just got the news that GameStop upped its share position in eBay from 5% to 6.55%. Now GameStop owns $3 billion in eBay, and that number is going to keep going up until they take it over. This is a hostile takeover.
They don't have the capital to take it over the way you're describing, unless you think that a good portion of institutional shareholders are on board with voting for the takeover, which I don't think they are.
Over Ryan.
Also, they own this derivatively, so they haven't executed these yet. I don't think they have to make a decision until the 18th? Or no, of next month, yeah. The 18th of June, I think those call put pairs expire. So they have until then to decide if they want to execute them.
Cohen is getting eBay one way or another, and now you know why he was holding all that cash. As for AMC, this guy said dark pool routing on AMC just signaled abnormal institution accumulation. Large-scale executive block trades are triggering settlement alerts. Retail thinks it's meme hype. Inside money knows the truth. So insiders now are buying AMC after it went to Bone frickin' City. Do you want to know?
Just a peach with a dollar tip says, attention spans are going to be shorter when all these children learn to read, said someone at some point. Yeah, it's true. It's one of the Greek philosophers, I think, that said that.
What Bone City looks like? It might look like, oh my gosh, we got a dip, we're boned. This is...
To be clear, this isn't just a youth thing, though. I know my attention span's much worse than it used to be.
Boned. I'm talking from a high...
And I don't even normally do short-form content like watching. I don't watch TikTok or shorts usually. Still, though.
Of $700.
Fenekagami says if attention spans can be destroyed, they can be rebuilt. In fact, they have studies that have reported that if people put their phone down for like 2 weeks or so, have increased their attention spans. So while capitalism starts cutting people off from electronics, the world will begin to heal. Yeah, when I was in the mental hospital for a week, I didn't have a phone, and it was actually kind of surprising. Like, how hard it was at first, and then eventually you're like, oh yeah, you can just, like, exist? Weird.
Dollars after the split to $1.50 where we're trading right now. And what has AMC done in that time period? Because back when we were trading at...
You spend an hour every day reading? See, I suck. Even if I'm reading or something... I'll like pause my reading in every 10, 15 minutes and look at my phone to see if anyone texted me or if I have any messages or whatever. I'm terrible. Fenekagami, thanks for a 135 stream streak.
Over $500 a share for AMC. We were on the verge of going bankrupt. Now...
By the way, I'm finally reading When Prophecies Fail. Really good. It's by the people that coined the term, cognitive dissonance. It's about when cults, religious movements, whatever, have predictions that don't come true.
Today, in May of
apropos for meme stocks, I guess.
2026, AMC is booming and the box office is breaking records. Yet AMC is trading...
Is it? Like, there's always some record arbitrarily, but it definitely feels like even the big hits of the year are making less money than they used to.
At $1.50.
Like the Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Galaxy movie. I haven't seen it. I don't really have an interest, but it was popular. It made close to $1 billion globally, but it made less than the first movie did, even though it was pretty hyped. It just feels like even for these big tentpole movies, they're pulling in less than they did. It's still a ton of money, but their budgets have also ballooned like crazy, so...
And we have Cinemark trading at $26.43. Guys, this is the time to buy shares.
Finished reading The Conspiracists by Noel Cook. Hold on, let me take a picture of that message so I can remember to look it up. I love stuff that covers, like, conspiracy stuff for groups, not just generally, but in specific. Like, I have a book called Heard It Through the Grapevine, and that's a book written by someone who's studied academically conspiracy theories in the African-American community. It's pretty interesting. So yeah, one that's focused on women, pretty interesting. A lot of things are focused on sort of the average, and by average, I mean white guys, generally.
Not financial advice. Please don't take any financial advice, but this could be the play of a century. And yes, you could have invested in the SPY and be happy with your up 70%. But when we see these stocks go up, possibly 1,000,
Not if, when. He doesn't say if, he says when.
up
Yeah, you could be happy being up 70%, but in my head, I think I've already won, so that's good, right?
70%. But when we see these stocks go up, possibly 1,000%
Possibly.
within a couple days, you're gonna
Just within days, just like in 2021. See what I mean? It's like a prophecy. They think it's foretold. The MOAS is coming.
be like, well, damn, maybe I should have just been a diamond hand instead of a paper hand freaking bastard. All right.
Like, he's smug. How is he able to be smug while losing? You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, you might be up 70% and I might be down a ridiculous amount. But this thing in my head that I think's gonna happen will mean I win. So fuck you. It's so weirdly defensive, projecting, cope, honestly. I guess it has to be cope, you know? Because he's still in it. So he's got to come up with some justification.
Alright, but that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know we were red today, but cheers everybody. I hope you had an amazing week. It probably wasn't that good because we were down a little bit. But like I said, diamond hands. If you don't have diamond hands, get the hell out of here. Why are you even still here watching? This is for diamond hands freaking only. And that's why the headband is on, because Roaring Kitty's profile picture still has the headband, and that's why now I have the headband.
Oh, Roaring Kitty's Twitter got hacked the other day, by the way, and promoted a crypto scam shitcoin, which immediately pumped and dumped, and then he got the account back.
On. So that's why I'm cheering early with this green beer, because like I explained in the beginning of my video, if my June 18 $25 calls go worth this, the 15,000 settlement that I'm getting, I'm not bragging at all. I'm letting you guys know.
It's not a brag if you say you're gonna waste the money. Then it's just embarrassing. Fenakagami says, you see the attention span problem in narrative too. A primary complaint older anime gets, even though that doesn't drown in filler, is that they're too slow. I've even heard that said about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Ironically, now anime also moves too fast and they have no break to absorb the narrative or get to know the characters. It's funny because this is a trend you can see in media throughout the 20th century too. If you go back and watch a movie from the 20s, it's a lot slower paced than a movie from the 30s, which is slower paced from a movie from the 50s, which is slower paced than a movie from the 70s, which is slower paced than a movie from now. You know what I mean? Over time, to some extent, especially during the 20th century, I think we learned better economy of storytelling. Like, I think we hit a real sweet spot between, like, the 70s and the 90s, early 2000s. This is almost certainly based on my preferences because of the movies I watched growing up, so it is the norm to me, but that is what feels normal pacing to me, where it's slow enough that there's moments to breathe, but it is competent enough storytelling-wise that you have good economy of storytelling where everything isn't just people standing around expositing at each other, which feels like a lot of movies today are just people expositing at each other and then some big stupid CG action sequence. Like, they don't have time to adequately tell a story in a satisfying way, so they just have to get plot points out, action sequence, plot points out, action sequence. Sorry, I'm being a boomer today. I'm so boomer today.
That I put my money where my mouth is. And that 15 grand is going into my new car that I'm going to get to make content for my other channels. But most of it is going into either GameStop warrants or GMEU. I'm sure you guys know what GMEU is if you're watching this. So yeah, there's only two options. Either GameStop does move like crazy before June 18th or make calls get liquidated and I lose that, or it's still at a discount price and now I have 15,000 to freaking buy the dip. It's gonna get crazy, boys. I also think that
Why does he need a car for content? He might be filming in his car. I don't know.
my channel is shadow banned, to be honest.
I don't know what his other channels are. Your channel isn't shadow banned. People just aren't interested in your content.
It's gonna get crazy, boys.
I hate when other YouTubers say this stuff. They're like, I'm shadow banned. You're not shadow banned. There's 10 million people on YouTube. You're just not interesting. You're just not doing stuff. You're not advertising yourself well. It happens. That's life.
I also think that my channel is shadow banned, to be honest. So if you guys are watching this and you guys have been watching me for a while and you want to continue watching this content,
Why wouldn't everyone want to come see this guy with no financial experience talk bullshit about a stock he's obsessed with?
turn on post notifications, because I really think they shadow banned me, these sick bastards, because they don't want me telling the truth. I don't know. Maybe I
Those sick bastards. It's clearly a conspiracy against this man who lives in his parents' house and talks about stocks that he learned about when he was 15.
could be wrong. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe everyone's just like, screw GameStop. Who knows? But honestly, for
It's that one.
all you guys that have been watching me, I think you
Jitara says, oh, like how Quartering swears his channel is under siege, but in reality, he just doesn't make good content. The Quartering was making slop long before AI was a glint in the eye of any of the psychotech bros ruling us today.
so much. I have decided that I am going to go full-time YouTube on this channel and
He has 7,000 subscribers.
two other channels that I'm working on. And it could be slow for a while, to be honest. It could be very slow. But the reason I kind of stopped making GameStop and AMC videos is I was working this sales job. And I was working 12 hours, 10 hours. You know, and I had no time to make these videos, which this is my passion, to make YouTube videos. I have wanted to be a YouTuber ever since I was 10 years old.
That's depressing.
On my other channel, Mikey G,
I say this as a streamer and YouTuber, whatever, who's been doing this since I was like 18. This has been my job. If your kids want to be a streamer or a YouTuber, dissuade them.
I have
Let me be clear. I love my job. I really do. I'm very fortunate. Most people aren't even as lucky as I am. And I didn't even get that lucky, you know? A lot of these kids imagine YouTuber to be like Mr. Beast. The vast majority of YouTube is not that. It's a job like any other job. You're your own boss, which can be nice, but it also means you need to be self-motivating. You need to, like, be able to do a lot of things and be entertaining and be on, and it doesn't matter if you're having a bad day. You gotta go be that person because you're entertainment for others, and that's your job. So, I don't know. Not something I would recommend kids get into, not as a job. If they want to do it for fun, of course, and if it grows into something, great. But going into streamer or YouTube, assuming that it's going to be your job, is not going to go well. You're going to hate it. It won't go well.
you know, 4,000, almost 5,000 subscribers, and I haven't posted there in a year, but the resurrection is coming. The resurrection is coming, guys. So I really appreciate you guys that, you know, are still here watching every single video. I love you guys so much. Even the haters, I just love you guys for tuning in. Much love to everyone. Cheers to everyone. I believe crazy times are ahead. And I will keep you guys updated on what happens with GameStop and AMC stocks. So make sure to stay tuned on my channel. And I'll catch you guys in my next video. As y'all know, I'm buying the dip.
Here we go. Come on. Push it. Buying the dip. Buying the dip.
Ashley one up with 50 bits says, "Come hither, fool." The fool jingled miserably across the floor. Oh, these are interesting. These are actually posts from the Super Stonk subreddit. Let me read some of these to you. Some of them, this is another distillation moment, I think. I've talked about this before, especially in that James Janney documentary that I was a part of. Hold on, will this work? Can I? Let me show you this one real quick. I gotta recenter this. But I've talked about this before. In conspiracies, in religious movements, in basically any high-control, faith-based movement, there are distillation events. So there are disconfirmation events, basically, predictions that don't come true or events that happen that shake the faith of the followers. And during that, some of the followers leave. The ones who leave are the ones more attached to reality, those that can see what's going on. So what remains of those within the group are the more insane ones, are the more delusional ones, are the ones more willing to allow their cognitive dissonance to continue to function so they can stay within the group. So recently, with the eBay offering and Ryan Cohen wanting to ask for 2.5 billion more shares to be sold, which is going to dilute the GME people, many of the apes are upset, and they're actually criticizing Cohen. Some of them are leaving because of this. So this is another distillation event where we're going to be left with a somewhat smaller, but on average, more devoted, crazier, more hardcore believers in the ape community. Alted Undying says, so I've made the silliest Nightbreed discovery. When Lori is calling Boone from her apartment, she has on a seemingly generic smiley face pin, but with vampire teeth. I found out it was a 1988 Hallmark pin. Ooh, good discovery. I like little film trivia like that where you can point out where something came from, like a prop. Anyway, let's read this post. They say, are we just bag holders? Please don't ban me. I really wish I could go back to 2021 and sell during one of those waves, or during any of the smaller runs that happened after. I feel like it's been such a long time now. The last real moment of excitement was probably May or June with Roaring Kitty's return. Before that, it felt bleak. And honestly, it's felt bleak again ever since the dilution during that run-up. That's Ryan Cohen selling GME shares into the open market, diluting shareholders, making the price of the stock go down, which he's done multiple times and is asking for again, the highest amount of dilution I think they've ever done. I know this might not be popular to say here, but sometimes I do wonder whether I'm stuck in an echo chamber. Is this conviction, or are some of us just riding the sunk cost fallacy and hoping it eventually works out because we've been here so long? The sunk cost fallacy, I believe, is also called the gambler's fallacy. Quite apt, considering the apes are by and large gambling addicts. Dilution, D-I-L-U-T-I-O-N, like you dilute something to make it more potent. You remove. Yeah. Anyway. I keep thinking that if I had invested in other stocks, I might be in a much better position now. It feels like the just hold mindset didn't really do much for many of us in practice, or rather in practical terms. The people who sold and bought back in lower, or even those who sold altogether, seem like they may have ended up better off. Better off? I'm still holding because at this stage I feel like I can't leave after being here this long, but I can't shake the feeling that I may have made a mistake. Sorry, did I say dilution? I meant distillation. Sorry. Brain fart. Distillation effect. My bad. I apologize. I misspoke. Distillation effect. I'm still holding because at this stage I feel like I can't leave after being here this long, but I can't shake the feeling that I may have made a mistake. I do actually have a different hypothesis on distillation, which is kind of the inverse of the other thing, and that is the idea that when cults become big enough that they're more like mainstream religions, we can see certain religions in this stage now. Mormonism is, I think, coming into this area a little bit because it's gotten big enough that the central control structure, it's still powerful, it's still a high control group, but less so than it used to be. Compare, for instance, Mormons today to where they were originally, or people in the FDLS community that believe that they are adhering to more accurate, earlier Mormon beliefs. So this distillation effect, I think, is that when a cult or a small group like that grows into a larger religion, where the central power structure has less ability to touch every single person involved and reinforce things get less extreme on average. So, while certainly Mormons are still extreme compared to, like, a lot of other groups, general society on average on a lot of issues, compare them to where they were 50, 60, 70 years ago. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm just talking. Have I seen the Scientology speedruns? I have. Very funny. Not that I would tell anyone to trespass, but it's funny. I am a 1XXX bag holder, so I don't know if he means 1,000 shares or 1,000 or so in dollars. Not sure. Either way, they say, honestly, I'm holding more than I probably should be. I feel stupid for prioritizing GameStop shares back then over things like saving for a house deposit. Now the stock feels like it's worth about the same as it was years ago, while the houses have become far more expensive. Actually, it's worth less because it stayed the same price where inflation went up. I'm not trying to spread negativity or attack anyone. I'm just tired, frustrated, and wondering if anyone else feels the same way, but I'm afraid to say it. Couple words to the wise. No one can answer your question for you, but what can help you answer it is asking yourself this: if I did not have a position already, would I initiate one now? There are 4 rules of investing. Preserve capital, preserve capital, preserve capital. Take profits. That's all. Research is a team sport. Investing is not. This person says, if you reevaluate it and you need to change your position, do it. Don't listen to others. You should make financial decisions based on your research. Either way, for investing, generally besides holding mutual type funds, single stocks isn't too far away from gambling. This is from the Super Stonk subreddit. These people are normally fanatics. The fact that any of them are able to say these at this point means that this is a quite large distillation event, I think. They were not able to bad talk Cohen at all. I assume a lot of these people are going to be banned or leave the community voluntarily, and will get distillation. Anyway. Harold Ebbleman says, I don't know if you've been paying attention to this particular crash out, Hannah, but the Sound of Freedom a-hole is basically trying to break off from the LDS Church and go his own way while claiming the legitimacy of the faith, i.e. a schism while being too chicken shit to actually say it. Oh, great. That's the best thing, isn't it? When you're like, I'm going to go and be the real church, and then you just have another denomination. Get this screen back. Pee-Pee from the Pee-Pee Show says, in my opinion, the reason we're waiting so long for Teddy and equity for BBBYQ is because of Clarity Act. We must not forget Teddy is still registered as a bank for a reason. Everything's going on blockchain as well, so it does make sense for the delay. White hats are keeping the play alive by keeping the Chapter 11 open. Debts have also been significantly reduced in the last few years in bankruptcy. If they weren't planning, forgot the apostrophe, to emerge, they wouldn't be reducing that every month as time goes on. They literally have to reduce the debt. That's part of the bankruptcy proceeding. They are legally required to pay off as much debt as they possibly can. That's bankruptcy. Baby has been tokenized by new BBBY and ready to launch. We talked about this since 2023 and it becomes reality in 2025. The most important words that I hope you truly understand from Backstage RC from the poem If you can wait and not be tired of waiting, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. Our day is coming and it will be the greatest told you so in history. I'm here still with you and we will not fail. With the power and strength from God, we will make it. This person says, I'm just chilling, working on myself, getting my ducks in a row. This is a great opportunity to really assess what's important in preparation for a life-changing event. It's going to be great to hit the ground running at full speed. If I didn't mention, PP has gone religious. I don't know his genuine feelings, but he has professed that he has gotten into Christianity. So he ties in faith and like generic pop culture Christianity in with a lot of his meme stock stuff now. So that's fun. Korax, how you doing? Korax says, hey, Hannah, did you catch Michael trying to peddle his Epstein MMTLP conspiracy during a Rob Carter live stream? I didn't watch it yet. I did pull it up for today. It's around here somewhere in one of my tabs. I did pull it up. I don't know if we're going to get to it today because I haven't watched it yet. I know you covered it. I got a chance to watch a little of that when it was live, but I haven't watched the VOD yet, so... Michael did go on this guy's show and spread a bunch of his conspiracy theories, including about Thomas Massey, which is kind of funny. But, yeah, I do plan on covering it at some point. What are we going to watch next? Let's do Morance. Morance had his 5th year anniversary on YouTube. It is a half a decade of failure, of losing money, of being incorrect at every turn, every prediction, an AI-written book that he sits behind him like he's proud of prompting something to fucking write a book for him. So let's jump into it. This is his 5-year anniversary video. It's titled, The Future is Now. Does he have fans? He does. He has a community of people in a Discord that are big fans of him and believe everything he says.
Good evening, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to Marantz Rants. Plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, a whole lot of truth, no financial advice. This is a one-take session. No edits, no cuts.
The only woman you've seen in this video is Hannah. Most of the meme stock people are dudes. They're like Finn bros. That's not to say there are no women. There are, but especially the main figureheads are men. Because even within the community, there's a lot of sexism. I don't think most of them would listen to women's advice on this. Gitara with 50 bits says, I've mentioned this in chat in the past, but I held a ton of Dogecoin for years before the GME thing popped off. When GME surged and people flocked to Dogecoin to try and recreate that surge, I sold the moment I felt Dogecoin had peaked. I got out with thousands. Not long after that, Dogecoin crashed to basically nothing and hasn't surged since. I say this all to say, yes, these people are holding the bag, and I'm saying this from the perspective of a person who left them with the bag. Oh, same. I bought GME in the run-up in 2021, but I wasn't delusional about it. I didn't think MOAS was happening. I didn't think, anything was happening. I just thought, oh, wow, a lot of people are buying into this. If you time this right, you can make a little bit of money. And I did. Feels a little bad, but I don't know. They should have sold. Sweet Lily Love says, these bits are not financial advice. Good to know.
About GameStop and or this channel as well. It's my 5-year anniversary, my 5th year anniversary here on YouTube. And like I said, no edits are cut, so I think it through as I'm saying it because there's no script in front of me. I'm just here speaking my truth, my journey into investing, to educating myself and others about GameStop, about the markets, about private credit.
To be clear, I'm more credible here because I've made more money on GameStop than Marantz ever has. I just realized that. I've made more profit from GameStop over the last 5 years than Marantz ever has. That's pretty good.
Credit, private equity, and what Ryan Cohen, the CEO and chairman of the board for GameStop, what he's going to do moving forward. All these things are in my brain daily. With the exception of this afternoon where I got to get a little release. I go play some video games and I relax and I try to take my mind off of it. But come full circle Monday morning, we know the market's going to open. We know there's going to be manipulation via mainstream media. They're going to tell you that GameStop.
Rubbing my axe says, I've made more money off GameStop than Morance and I never invested at all. That's true. All of you, if you've never bought GameStop stock, are better off than Morance because he is in the negative. So yeah, if you're just neutral, you did it. You beat Marantz. Good job.
GameStop can't buy eBay. This is this thing that 5 years ago, I'll run it back with you. 5 years ago when I started YouTube, I had a laptop that has its own webcam in it. I had a microphone that I had just bought from GameStop so that, because I had a streaming kit that I wanted to do. I was like,
You bought a webcam from GameStop?
I'm going to start this. I'm going to do this. and I took $80 and I went to GameStop and I bought this streaming kit. It was $79.95, and it came with
You probably overpaid at GameStop.
a light, a microphone.
By the way, never buy equipment unless you're a musician, I guess. I don't know what the pricing is for them there. But don't buy audio equipment at Guitar Center unless you absolutely have to. There have been a few times I've had to buy stuff at Guitar Center for like audio-related equipment. Oh my god, Guitar Center, what are you fucking thinking? It's so overpriced. GameStop is as well. Probably not as bad as Guitar Center, though.
And a camera. Now, the camera wasn't 4K, but it was a camera. And I couldn't hook it up fast enough because we were going to be going on vacation the next, 2 days after I started YouTube. And I didn't know who was going to watch anyway, so it didn't matter. I didn't know if I was going to have any viewers. And my first viewer to comment in a video, his name was Lift to Eat. And then it was Kyoto, and then it was Ruben, and then it was Almo, and then all the regulars that you guys see here. But these were the first guys to ever really hang out with me hot this year. And they were here watching the show with me.
Is he divorced? No, he had some trouble a few years back because he was quote-unquote mentoring a young woman. She was, I think, a teen still. I want to say she was at least 18, but I don't remember for sure. But he was taking her around, and she was filming everything for him, and there was some, was she 17? Oh, God. No. 17. Okay. Anyway, there was some contention about that, and he moved out of him and his wife's house for a while and started streaming at his parents' house. I do believe they got back together, and he has never mentioned that 17-year-old again. So I think they worked it out. But yes, that did happen. Just a Peach with a tip says, I've only been on my habit tracking app for 4 years as of this morning. I probably have gotten more out of it than him and GameStop. Almost certainly. Fennikagami says, listen, Hannah, at some point we all need to accept that it is in fact sometimes the victim's fault. After you pulled someone from the same ledge enough times, you have to accept they just want to jump. These people have been given every possible opportunity to realize they're wrong, and they refuse to. Empathy isn't bad, but honestly, at this point, I'm in a you reap what you sow mentality for these people now. I can respect and understand that. I always wish they would change their mind. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy for it, but maybe people even like this can change their minds eventually. Maybe. That's just a hope, probably. Anyway.
Well, as I was doing the show, I didn't even know what it was. I just hit record and I just started ranting about GameStop because I was very passionate about it. Passion can get you so far. Hard work can get you so.
Oh, Felix probably doesn't know this. This is funny. Hold on. Let me pull something up real quick. For those that don't know, oh no, did he get banned or something? Where is he? No! Did he get banned or something? Hold on. He has a twin brother that's a much more popular internet personality than him. Here he is.
So shout out to
Rico knows. That's what it is. Rico knows. There he is. Rico knows is Rance's brother. And he is actually a pretty decently followed account on TikTok for sports. 176,000 followers.
So I just got done watching both XFL games on live with my followers today. Some pretty damn good football. Obviously, I know a lot of the players.
It's just very funny. Yes, they're identical twins. It's very funny that he has a brother that also does internet stuff that is more popular than him. And Rico has done a rant video about how Marantz hit their mom allegedly and is all sorts of fucked up. It was a whole thing.
So far as well. but you got to have discipline.
So he's into a hobby and not crazy. I don't know that much about him, so I'm not going to definitely say he's not crazy, but
And the discipline that I've had over these last 5 years, well, they've gotten me somewhere. Some people don't know how to measure that success.
Most people would measure the success in the stock market in terms of gains, because it's the stock market, which is purely financial in nature.
Me personally, I had never saved any money cash-wise in my life. I always had my 401k. I had a TSP, a thrift savings plan.
He pulled money out of his 401k to buy GameStop shares, by the way. I've said this before. I've shown the video in the past when he did it. He took penalties pulling money out of his 401k to buy GameStop shares.
Via the military. And
he also had a bunch of stock from Costco, where he used to work before he got fired, and he sold all that to buy GameStop.
I've had cash in the bank, but it went to my wife. You know, it wasn't like something.
Are you terrible for finding that funny? No, I find it funny too. It's just also tragic. I feel a lot of things about most things. There's always some level of funny, because philosophically I consider myself an absurdist, and if I don't kind of partake in laughing at some of the weirdness of the world, I would actually go crazy. I would not be doing well if I couldn't laugh at it. But yeah, a lot of sadness underneath it.
That I was squirreling away that I wasn't telling anyone about.
I'm a big fan of Todd Solondz's films. Does that frame it?
So it was awesome when I really started looking at GameStop as this next investment that I was going to do, this transition for me, and this savings account that I was going to start. And I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I told my son at the time.
Chitara says, wait, when did he get fired from Costco? What did he do? He got fired from Costco because he kept shit-talking the company to some extent on his channel. And I think they also just, like, wanted him to stop saying weird things on the internet, because it's known that he worked at Costco. This was a known thing that he worked there. So he was connected to them, and I think they were deeply embarrassed by all of this. I'm not entirely sure, though.
My oldest son, I told him, I said, hey, I'm going to do $10 a day. And you can ask him till this day. Did I stick
Oh, yeah, I've heard great things about being a worker at Costco.
to that plan? No. I went
Now he works as an exterminator.
way above it, but it was because I was educating myself more and more on the investment. When I first started this, I had no idea where I'd end up. I didn't know I'd be here today in front of you, and we're speaking as if GameStop is about to buy
This is why you don't tell people where you work online. Me too.
eBay. That's the offer on the table, which they rejected the offer, but it's not a real rejection if you understand M&A.
Listen to that again.
Speaking as if GameStop is about to buy eBay. That's the offer on the table, which they rejected the offer, but it's not a real rejection if you understand M&A.
Yeah, the girl I asked to prom rejected me, but it's like, it's not a real rejection if you know about women, you know? She's just playing hard to get. Ah, yeah, Marantz, no.
But see, those are the things I can talk about and feel good about it. I can speak on private credit. I can talk about private equity and investments and fundamentals and balance sheets and income statements and
Where's it gotten you, Morance? Where's it gotten you?
and cash flow. I can do all of that because I've educated myself over these last 5 years. That's what GameStop has done for me. The journey is worth everything to me. The transaction at the end, no. I mean, how's it going to make me feel when GameStop's sky high on value? What am I going to do? You know, it's not a feeling that I'm chasing. It's just the journey I'm taking. You ever had like this dream car you wanted? You get a dream car, you want the dream car, you actually buy it. Now what? You say to yourself, I didn't even need that car. Or maybe it didn't make you feel the way you thought it would make you feel, or maybe that feel has gone. It's faded. That's not what it is for me when it comes to GameStop. 5 years of watching Ryan Cohen and all the viewers of this show transition into what it has become. It's phenomenal. I didn't know it was going to be like this.
A gambling addict support group, but like one that encourages the gambling instead of tries to get you to stop.
I didn't.
Ashley One Up says, perhaps the real Moass was the friends we made along the way. Truly. I do want to, Morance, I will say this. Morance, I appreciate you. I appreciate the 5 years you and the other apes have put into this, because it has brought me a tremendous amount of joy watching it, talking about it, investigating these thought processes. It's terrible, and I'm sorry you hurt yourself doing this. But man, like, I've gotten a lot out of this. Thank you. Appreciate you, Morance. Skepazoa says, don't forget Marantz is also a JQer. Oh yeah, shit. Well, fuck Marantz.
I'm thankful. I'm extremely thankful for the crew and everyone who watches the show. And, there's so many thankless things that have happened. Like, I can't go out and thank everyone because you guys wouldn't understand why I'm thanking them. But one guy that comes to mind would be somebody like, if I had to think, I would say Trove. Trove has a real good spot in my life where Trove has helped me the most with transitioning the show into being bigger than what it is. I have plenty of people that help me in the background. Almo, Kyoto, Stacks, Hot this year, Ruben, even Ravenstown. Everybody's been around for a very long time. Shout out to Sharon. She knows what she's done for me. But the whole crew, it's not just them. There's so many other people. I got a message from Doovie the other night that just rocked my world. I was like, oh my goodness, this is great. You guys are so thick in it. Jesse in Hawaii, AJ and Anthony, those guys are awesome. And so there's just so many people that I would like to thank over these 5 years that we've made it this far together.
Made it this far. You haven't gone far. You've made it this long. There is no far. It's been trading sideways.
But that's the journey, right?
Massively down since its high 5 years ago.
If you weren't here with us, then where would you be? A lot of people don't know the life of this show. I don't have the lights on tonight. I just have the spotlight on. I don't even have the top lights on because I was just like in the
Yeah, it doesn't look good. You should get your rim light. Turn it on. What are you doing?
dark, just daydreaming and thinking.
By the way, we're halfway through the stream. If you like the stream, do me a favor on YouTube, hit the like button, hype the video if you know how to do that. If not, Google it. If you're on YouTube, you can always use memberships or super chats to support the show, and on Twitch, membership or subscriptions and bits.
I was like, where did it all start? What happened? Who was the first guy I didn't trust? Who was the other YouTubers that I actually got an interview with that I was like proud to interview with? Who was, where did I get the most info from? Where did I figure this out?
Do I still cover CC? I do. He just posts less than he used to, but he posts now once or twice a month, and I always cover it.
What was my favorite interview? Things like that. I was thinking all this through, and when you go watch them, it's not for me to put the claim on. I can't come in here and tell you guys, well, I hated Major Tom, and I can't stand this Twitter Spaces cause that he used to have to do with Tara Bull, and doing interviews with Tony De Niro and Data Zero, and walking the streets and giving away free things all over Palm Springs and the mountains and Santa Barbara and or whatever it was, Santa Monica Pier, and just a lot of things. NFT Marketplace, all the interviews, the people.
The NFT Marketplace that closed and failed.
Seed show and battles, the guys coming to my work and doxing me and harassing me and asking for me to get fired and make me quit, and no vendors can do relationships with me. It was a real thing, like just a constant battle. All these, I guess, documentaries talking about you, calling you crazy, calling you, you're obsessed, you're in a cult, you're a loser.
Yeah, he's the subject of multiple documentaries, not necessarily the only, but both in This Is Not Financial Advice, or rather, This Is Financial Advice by Dan Olson, he's in it, and he's in the James Janney documentaries that I was in as a, I guess, expert on crazy people was my role.
And then it turns and transitions to another guy who speaks so highly about everything, yet he speaks down on Ryan Cohen and games.
If I'm ever the subject of multiple documentaries calling me crazy, I think I'll probably give up, just for the record.
Stop.
Consultant! There you go.
And that's you, Dan Olson. And then, of course, you have Hannah and you have others
That's
that claim
me.
they support retail investors and they want to educate, yet they just speak down.
Have I claimed that wait, what?
That claim they support retail investors.
Have I claimed I support retail investors? I know he's probably talking about more of the other people, but I don't think I've ever said anything in particular. I care about them as people and don't want them to lose money. I don't think of them as investors. I think of them as human beings with gambling addictions.
And they want to educate, yet they just speak down on someone who's really hyped up and somebody who's excited. No lie.
Right, you can be excited and very wrong. That's what makes it dangerous, is you're excitedly trying to spread misinformation. You don't know it's wrong. You're not doing it intentionally. That's why I'm not saying disinformation. I'm saying misinformation. You're spreading it to people, and that's not good.
Lies are told here. There's no misinformation here. It's just how you interpret it. Like, we talk fundamentals. We can do it right now. eBay's up for sale, right? Is eBay?
It's actually not up for sale. Ryan just made an offer on it. They aren't for sale.
5 times bigger than GameStop? No. eBay has $17 billion in assets. GameStop has 10.
Okay, eBay is a profitable company operationally. Like, much better operational income than GameStop. What?
What people don't understand is that GameStop's 10 is generating a profit.
Hannah's Rogues Gallery is getting weirder. It's because we're in the Silver Age. Back in the Golden Age of my Rogues Gallery, everything was just fun and peachy, and now we're in the Silver Age and everything is camp and no one's taking it seriously anymore.
At a better click.
Bronze Age is going to be lit, though. Morance will get all sorts of weird, arbitrary, like, pouches and bullets on him. It'll be really cool. Todd McFarlane will be involved.
In a better rate. And why do I say that? Because eBay has 75% net, well, however you guys want to do the math, but it's going to be what we call gross profit margin, 75%. They come out at the very bottom. The profit margin is at 19. There's 55%.
Marantz, are you including not the operational profits, but are you including the profits that they're making off of T-bills that anyone could invest in? Because that's not a good argument. Hats off. Rageology, what do you want me to wear for the hats off? The bullet crown? I'll find it. It's been a while.
Of fluff that just evaporates in expenses and overhead. And then you go look at GameStop. GameStop has a gross profit of 35, and they're coming out with 12. So the ratio's better. They do more with less. And that's because it's tight margins on retail, physical retail, and what they're doing. But what Ryan Cohen could do with that company called eBay, people can't even imagine. I mean, they're leaving so much money on the table by not having him run that company. But we weren't having...
You have no basis for that other than your weird religious fanaticism for Ryan Cohen. Ryan Cohen has shown himself to be incompetent and have no original ideas in every interview he's done. The only thing he is saying is that he's going to cut costs, which short term will increase profitability, but medium to long term will destroy the company.
These conversations 5 years ago. 5 years ago, if I told you GameStop's going to buy eBay, you would call me crazy. Just like everybody has.
I'm calling you crazy now.
Has been calling me crazy. But crazy's here. Crazy's here. When GameStop
he said it.
Only had $900 million out, we were all right there. $1 billion, no debt, and they make a profit. Morance, what do you mean they make a profit? That balance sheet tells me they don't. And what would I say? It does. You don't know the expenses they're hiding in it. I'm the only guy who would say this because I understood how balance sheets are done. I watch all of Wall Street do it. You think those Mag 7...
I can't find the bullet crown. Do you have a secondary option? Look what I did find, though. Oh. You are gonna regret making me search through that trunk. Well, I got an accordion and it's annoying. It has been annoying since the day I bought it, but it was lost, now I found it. Anyway, I lost the bullet crown. What was the other option? Pink cowboy hat. Okay, I can do that one. It's okay. I'll take my accordion to Weird Al.
Companies have profits. You think they're making money as much as they claim they are? It's funny math. It's funny math. It's mark to market. It's funny math. That's what I could tell you. But anytime CapEx is your your indicator for growth, that's a failed company right there.
Juggle, will do.
And or not as hyperscaler as they claim to be. But we've had these conversations. I think my biggest thing is my detachment with things. That's what's been the biggest benefactor for me.
Next tip goal, a hat rack. I mean, I could just get a hat rack. I think I had one at some point.
Tell you that because if you lose something, a physical, something tangible, some people are quite emotional. Some people be like, oh my God, I lost that. I lost a girlfriend. I lost a wife. I lost a house. I lost a car. Just all these things. You say, well, wait a minute. A house is like the worst. If you really think about it, a house is the worst investment you can make.
Disagree. I think that's generally disagreed by pretty much every financial analyst. It does cost money to maintain it, of course, but better than renting, at least generally. What was I saying? CapEx is literally the cost of footprint growth. That's the thing, too. They keep talking about wanting to turn eBay into an Amazon competitor while also reducing their capital expense, including advertising specifically, which is crazy because if you were shifting a business that much, you would need to increase ad spend. Your CapEx would inflate because it's a major undertaking. Welcome, people from Tina 2. How you doing? How you doing, Tina? Hope you had a good stream. Could we get in the chat a link to Tina 2's channel, please? Definitely check out Tina 2 here on Twitch. I'm Hannah. We are looking at meme stock people. These are basically gambling addicts who are obsessed with GameStop and AMC stock and a variety of other companies. They're quite delusional. This is Marantz. He's been preaching the gospel of GameStop for about 5 years. This is his 5th year anniversary video, and he is coping quite hard about losing money.
And people will tell you
Sorry, marketing is operating expense. You're right.
Complete opposite. The guys
brain fart
who are safe, the guys who are scared to be entrepreneurs, the guys who are scared to take a risk, they'll tell you the complete opposite. I'll give you this example why I say a house is the worst investment. Because I only use my standpoint, like me in my career. I was offered opportunities to move outside of the state and...
Oh, this is funny. This is funny.
To progress.
You can tell he's so salty about this shit.
With the company I was with. And I turned those opportunities down because my wife wanted to live here. Now, am I faulting her for that? No. That's our decision. Our decision together as a couple was, hey, we're not going to try to take on these new endeavors. We're going to stay right where we're at because we bought a home here and we choose to live here and it's what we want to do.
You know you can sell a house, right? And then use the money to buy a different house.
Well, some people have to realize that that's a crutch. And if you had flexibility and you had the ability to just get up and move...
Hannah's just spreading FUD to break our diamond hands so we can't hodl. It's true. Ken Griffin literally sends me envelopes full of cash every week specifically to call Morance a loser.
On a whim, then you probably would make better choices or other choices that were afforded to you. This whole idea of having generational wealth, that's another one that's graduated on me while I've been doing it.
I would never want generational wealth. Do you know why? If I had kids, they'd turn out to be rich Nepo baby assholes. Generational wealth is a bad idea.
In this show.
Making enough to get by and be comfortable and be able to do things like vacations while still working? Excellent. Great.
Generational wealth is not infinite wealth. That's not what it is. Generational wealth is changing the trajectory of your family and yourself without the stresses of the outside golden handcuffs pressure. I mean, you guys got to think of it. You guys go get a job, and if that person at your job, the person who's in charge of you, a manager, supervisor, someone is treating you, mistreating you, and you put up with it, You put up with it because, hey, I need this job. I can't afford to do it elsewhere. And why can't you afford it? Because you took on all this debt. Because you made some really bad decisions. You made bad investments. So that's what I'm telling you, that I've learned this whole time.
Rich people should be taxed at 98%. I find it's usually more palatable to people if you say that the highest tax bracket should be like high like that, and then you can explain that the highest tax bracket used to be that back in the day. People often in the United States, shockingly, don't seem to understand how taxes work. They don't understand tax brackets and that different portions of your income are taxed at different rates. Like, there's this weird pervasive idea that you can start making enough money that your taxes go up and all of a sudden you have less money than before the raise, which is literally impossible. It's not how taxes work.
And even
the only thing that can, like, be bad for that is, like, if you're on some sort of program or anything that requires you to be under a certain amount of money income-wise, then you can get fucked over. But that's not a tax thing. That's not being able to use those programs. But I know people have brought that up in the past when I've talked about this. So.
Transition for me, like with the choices that my wife and I make together with this investment, we talk about it. I'd say we talk about it monthly or weekly, in that range, every 2 weeks. I'll say, hey, babe, listen, here's my plan. When GameStop hits this dollar amount and when they buy this company or when they transition and they show this, when Wall Street gives them the right pricing, here's my plan. And I tell her. And then she asks some questions and I'll be like, yeah, babe, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. She'll be like, okay, is that the right thing to do? Maybe we should try this. And she puts some things in my head and it's good. She puts healthy things in my head. But I'll tell you what's never going to happen, just so we're clear. I'm not selling my shares. Now, I know that blows some people's mind. They don't understand. But I want to...
Is Marantz aware that eventually, even if you are a long-term investor, the point of the stock market is to eventually take a profit, right? Like, just having a stock that's worth a bunch of money isn't gonna do anything for you unless you're, like, literally a billionaire that owns so much that you can go to banks and borrow money against that as an asset, which is one of the ways that rich people hide income and don't get taxed on it, is they use their stock or something in certain companies that they own in order to get loans and use that as collateral, and it doesn't count as income.
Help you guys, those of you out there that don't understand what GameStop is and or what your money market accounts are, or what you guys might have some...
He wants to be the next Roaring Kitty. Roaring Kitty sucks for a lot of reasons, but he knows more about the market than Morance ever has. That's for sure.
Some savings or a retirement fund. But you got to remember that if you're buying stock individually, if you're buying securities individually...
Does he think GME is a dividend stock? I don't know. He knows it's not currently. It wouldn't surprise me if he expects it to be one eventually.
It is a long man's game. If you're playing the short man's game, you will lose. But in the long run, if you're making quality sound investments and you're buying them at value, then 10 years from
quality sound investments
now, 20 years from now,
10 years from now, okay, you've already been halfway through that. You're at the 5-year mark. Do we want to check the scoreboard?
You will see the difference. A lot of people can't wait that long. That's what they tell you. And that's because they have an inherent greed to run neck and neck with their neighbors or keep up with the Joneses. When people get a big paying job, right, make 100-something thousand a year, 200,000 a year, when you start making that kind of money and you're trying to live in the parking lot with the other coworkers of yours, that's where you fail. I drive a Ford Ranger, guys, a pickup truck, and I will drive that thing till the wheels fall off. Completely paid. There's no, I have no debt. I paid 0% interest on that thing.
That's great. That's good. That's a much better financial decision than everything you do with the stock market.
But why am I telling you my expenses? Because I'm trying to tell you my mindset. I'm willing to do less with more. And the more you give me, the more money I have and or the better position I have in life, the more it amplifies who I am. And that's what I've been doing for the last, at least 5 years here with you in front of the camera. But
what did you miss? Has GME gone to the moon yet? Yes, Marantz is now actually the world's first trillionaire, and he's hired a hit squad to come kill me. So we're just waiting out until I get taken out, you know.
My wife and I, we've been transitioning this whole time for like 18
Me too.
years. We've been growing together. So that's my truth. It's the channel.
Phoenix says, I was thinking the other day, what's the best costume choice for really hot days? Also, can we do summer costumes as a tip goal? I'm neurotic and I worry. That might be fun to do. And what's the best one? Judge Robe isn't bad. Freddy Krueger isn't bad. Witch isn't bad. The ones that are the ones that are hard in the summer are like the onesies, like the fish or the dinosaur, because those are like insulating like crazy. You get super hot. The other ones aren't too bad.
I want to celebrate with you guys tonight. Here's a celebration. Right here is the...
She took him back, Mr. Duck Sauce.
5 years in...
Why do I never post the Spock outfit? It's my favorite. I mean, I put a lot of them there. You guys can put the Spock thing on there. I start out with a bunch of them, but you guys don't have to only pick the ones that I put on there when I first post it. You know that, right? You know you can go into and react with the emote that's the Spock thing without me putting it there.
Subscriber count for the show. The show that started out with 100 subscribers in the first 3 days.
Like, you on Discord, okay, I don't think you understand how it works. On Discord, when there are all those options that are the emotes, you can put ones that aren't already there on Discord.
3,000 the first year, and we averaged over 3,000.
The problem is it would be one less vote. Okay, I will make sure every time I put up every costume thing. I apologize.
In a year over the last 5 years. How did we do it? To some people, that's not a lot. Well,
sorry, I gotta go back.
Over 3,000 a year over the last 5 years. How did we do it? To some people, that's not a lot. Well, let me explain to you why it's a lot. Because the bulk of those viewers, 78% of those viewers.
Maybe a full list of options on the announcement would be helpful. It's on there. All the options are on there. It's all written out with the emote on there. All of them.
Watch the show.
It has instructions very specifically.
Monthly, weekly, regularly. We have the big
summer-friendly costume ideas. Cheerleader. That might be okay. Gotta ride that line. On the one hand, I wish I'm in the middle of losing weight. You know, I'd like to look good in these outfits. If I could look good in some of these summer costumes, believe me, I'd be wearing much sluttier clothes.
Biggest turnout for this channel, period, when it comes to finance. I know that because of the interaction. I know that because of the view count. And I do this part-time. I don't even do it full-time, but you would think it's full-time because I'm here every day. No, it's just part-time. I spend a lot of time with my family, plenty of time with my wife and I going out.
Bumble Homestead with 73 months says this feels like halfway through the semester and a teacher had to remind people how to log into the assignments.
And enjoying each other's company now that we're older and the kids are older. We've learned to balance our life. But I've had to balance YouTube. I've had to find a way to balance all of the interactions I have with you guys.
Baha, you can see me in slutty clothes whenever you want. So you know that.
Boundaries I put up.
That's my wife. If anyone doesn't know in chat. I'm not just being weird to a chatter. That's my wife.
It's respect. 2, I know there's people chasing after me, doxing and trying to ruin my life and put words out there that I never said or just attacking you as a person. And that's okay. I mean, it comes with the territory. And as long as you pray and you understand that no one shall prosper, no evil shall prosper.
So weirdly melodramatic. It's a fucking game pawn shop.
We're going to make it. And I'm just going to be the symbol of that. So I'm happy with what we've done in the last 5 years. And I just wanted to tell you tonight, I was going to go to bed. I was all showered up. I mean, you know, I'm always trying to go in there looking nice. But I told my wife, I said, I got to go make a video and talk to these guys and let them know exactly how I feel about things at times. Times like this. when the whole world is doing something.
No evil shall prosper. He's a Trump supporter. His idea of what evil is very different than you or I's.
Math, and they got
Because we have developed empathy. Pretty important skill.
it all wrong.
Just a Peach with a tip says he seems to be trying to talk up his marriage in a worried way. He does. He's kind of like that, yeah.
You know, I wonder how
Especially since the 17-year-old thing.
much goodwill GameStop's going to have after they acquire eBay. I wonder how much money they'll have moving forward and the opportunities put in front of them. I really do wonder. But the wondering's going to go away. They're going to acquire eBay in due time. And when they buy them, they get good value.
His wife kicked him out of the... I talked about this earlier. His wife kicked him out for a while because he was quote-unquote mentoring a 17-year-old girl who was going to places with him on, like, trips and filming for him, like, his little giveaways. Remember when he used to give away GameStop stuff? Like, he would go out to places. She was the one filming those, at least for quite a while.
Value for him. Wall Street's
She took him back. He's back home now.
going to try to tell me that they're going to, there's some skepticism, or GameStop doesn't get a multiple because they have so much debt. GameStop's not going to get value because of this. It's just adding more fuel to the fire. That's all they're doing. They're waiting.
Korak says he still thinks eBay deal is serious and not just RC trying to use the cult for his activist investing silliness. I'm so excited. I wanted to do this one, but we probably won't do another meme stock meltdown stream unless something either completely fucking nuts happens or until it's clear that the eBay thing is not happening even to the apes. Because they are still fully like, no, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. Anyone who thinks this isn't going to happen is an idiot or a shill. So I'm sure their reaction will be interesting. They're going to be very vindictive to eBay moving forward. I mean, for years, I promise, we're going to be seeing them complaining about eBay and its management and its employees, and it's going to be annoying.
They're waiting until we're just...
Didn't eBay say no directly? Correct. In theory, though, for something like this, you can go directly to the shareholders and get a vote. I don't even think it's going to get that far, to be honest. But if it does, I think they would vote no. Did I hear about the SpaceX IPO? Yeah, it's going to be disastrous for everyone's 401ks. Super excited for that. I love that we live in a country where the gains are all specifically for corporations when we work together, but all the losses fall on all the poors. That's good. I'm glad I get to be excellent liquidity for the world's first trillionaire. That's fun.
It's too big to deny. And like I've told everyone from the start, become undeniable, then you win. That's in everything. Guys, I really appreciate you guys for these last 5 years. I don't know where I'd be.
5 more years. 5 more years. Jokes aside, if he's still doing this in 5 years and I still have to cover him, I will be incredibly disappointed and my existential dread will be unimaginable.
I never thought I'd be here. We wrote a book. Morance rants.
You didn't write it, bitch. AI did. I think you fed the transcripts of your Connect the Dots series into an AI and said, write this into a book. I do want to buy it, though. I do want to buy that shitty AI book just for a souvenir.
Connect the dots. I have very valuable Pokemon cards. I have over, almost $60,000 invested. $59,600 something by now.
How much did you actually put in? More than that, though? You put more in than that, and now it's worth less than that, right? You spent more than that, and now it's less than that in worth. Just to be clear, right?
That's not the accurate number back there.
If these people understood opportunity cost, they'd be very upset.
But amount of shares I'm carrying,
He did, in fact, admit it was AI generated. What a loser.
I don't know, 2,527, more than a share a day. There's just a lot I'm doing here, and I'm doing it with you guys too. So thank you for the 5 amazing years. Thank you for having my back this whole time. I have yours. And I'll continue to make videos and push out the right info for all of you guys hating on me. Well,
if I get Morance's book, am I planning on getting Michael's too? I'm afraid if I read Michael's book, I'll catch his insanity. Michael is just gone. I don't know if when this all started, I would have voted on Michael to be the one that went like one of the craziest places. But there he is. He's still no Kai's. He's still no Kai's. I didn't bring up Kai's. Oh, fuck. Hold on. After this video, I gotta explain to you what Kais has been doing.
This means I'm doing something right. You wouldn't have to make videos and you wouldn't have to post content and chase me down if I were wrong. It's really that simple. GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop, GameStop. Shout out.
I want you all to know that any time in life when we hear the term don't stop, me or my wife will say, can't stop, won't stop, GameStop. In our day-to-day life, we make fun of Marantz. When you aren't here.
Shout out to Ryan Cohen. The future's now.
The future's now, old man. Here's his merch store. Look at the AI art. Oh, Jesus. Oh, he's got the piss filter Ghibli fucking AI. Disgusting. Disgusting! The fuck does he have a website? What does he need a website for? Oh, it's just for the merch. Okay, I understand a merch store. I don't understand these products, but... Anyway, let me see if I can find you guys the Kais thing, because it is truly bizarre. Let me filter this by video. How do I do this? It's been a while. No. Filter. New basic filter. Post type. No. Maybe if I just search Kais, it'll show up. Oh no, that searched everything too. Wow. I will find this. Give me just 1 second. So, to give you a background in what's been going on and what I'm trying to find for you, Ryan Cohen is looking for a personal assistant, and Kais wants the job so bad. He made an AI introduction video for Ryan Cohen. I will find it. I will. So many posts over the last week in GME Meltdown because it's been so interesting lately. Come on, Kais. Oh, here's one. Oh, I found him. Okay. So here's the first one. He made an AI image of him shaking hands with Ryan Cohen, his savior. And then he made an AI video. Do you guys remember Kais Malej? I'll give you a reminder of what he sounds like, because this is important. Kai's sizzle reel was not in my bingo card. True. I'll use John's video. This is Kai's.
You will meet your baby on November 26th. Maybe now they, even under 18, they know about it.
This guy pretended to be Ryan Cohen when Ryan Cohen's wife was pregnant, and he called the hospital impersonating Ryan Cohen to try and find out the delivery date of Ryan Cohen and his wife's baby. Bittergrin with 100 bits says, I know RC is dumb, but I don't think he's going to hire his stalker. True!
It doesn't matter if you are Bed Bath & Beyond on top, or GameStop on the bottom, or the opposite, GameStop on top and Bed Bath & Beyond at the bottom. The pleasure is the same. the pleasure is the same of that position.
So that's Kai's Malej. This is what he posted.
Dear Ryan.
Sorry, it's immediately funny. This is what he posted to Ryan Cohen in order to try and get him the job.
Cohen, I applied for the personal assistant and household operations coordinator position at GameStop. I'm very interested in working with GameStop. I am a hardworking man, and I have a chip on my shoulder to...
That doesn't sound a lot like Kai's, does it? Harold Ebbelman says, Kais is not unhinged. He's not allergic to hinges. The man is the antithesis of hingedom. The spirit of hingery is not within him, and were he ever to consider having in a manner even vaguely hinge-esque, he would implode into a felonious singularity. Wow. Morance's book has a 2-star rating. That's too much. Anyway, let's finish this AI thing. Where'd it go?
Achieve success and support the company in any way I can. Thank you for your time and consideration.
So that's what he decided to do. He's doing great. What else do we have? Let's see, do I have any other posts I wanted to go through first? Here's an open letter to Ryan Cohen written by one of the apes. Sorry, I don't have a very good view of this either way. Anyway, I'll read it. Poor Vita says, admittedly, I don't care about GameStop. I invested in you. Addressing Ryan. Believed in you, my dude. But everything I followed you into after the 2021 squeeze resulted in losses. BBBYQ totally wiped out. Shares canceled. Picture with Icon? Okay, sure, I'll support IEP. Massive losses. It seems like the only way that you have been involved with that has gone up is eBay, and that was only after they told you to fuck off. An entire community was formed specifically to support you, and you snub us, giving everyone else interviews. You have killed every run. IEP is Icon Enterprises. It was Carl Icahn's fund. He's the guy that Gordon Gekko is based off of in Wall Street. If you like Wall Street, greed is good guy. Anyway. With dilution, destroying any chance of the many bag holders created during the 2021 squeeze to ever break even, let alone make any profit. We've waited and waited and waited for you to make a significant move, and when you finally do, you publicly troll the company you offer to buy, and then you go on a media tour whining that of course they rejected you. You structure a Sorry, let me get some water. Wall Street the movie. Wall Street the movie. I know you're 21. It's a very famous movie from the 80s with Charlie Sheen and, blanking on his name. Very famous. Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas. Anyway, you structure a compensation package that sees you getting paid massively if you can get the market cap to 100 billion, but then propose to increase the float to 2.5 billion so that all you'd have to hit is $40 a share. To accomplish this, you could have at any point in the last few years told former BBBYQ shareholders that they lost. We would have understood. Sorry guys, I tried, but it just didn't work. You knew what the theories are. You know about their unwavering conviction, that they believed there would be more to the Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and that their shareholders would at least be made whole. And why shouldn't they? Fraud settlers were paid, we shareholders were defrauded. Where's our cut? Close your eyes and point at any one of your shareholders. Okay, two things. First of all, he has told you it's over. Shortly after the Bed Bath & Beyond thing, Ryan Cohen did an interview where he said outright it didn't work out and he sold his shares. He has been asked this recently, and he also reiterated that it didn't work out, so he left and sold his shares. The idea that he's asking Ryan Cohen to say, sorry guys, I tried, but it didn't work out. He has already done this, but they have ignored it every single time. Secondly, as shareholders in Bed Bath & Beyond, you are not owed money when it closes. You owe creditors money in theory because as a shareholder, you are a partial owner of that company. You are the company. The company owes creditors money. So you don't get that money. You don't get any money unless all the creditors are paid first because you, as someone who owns part of the company, owe that money. You should feel lucky that in the law, they can't come after shareholders for debts of the entity. For good reason, they don't do that. But, like, in theory, you are an owner of a company that owes people billions of dollars. You should be happy you're not having to pay those bills, much less you trying to act like you're owed money because the company you own failed. Crazy. Absolutely nuts. Continuing, and you're more likely than not going to hear a story about how they have lost something by following you. Respect, money, sanity, credibility, even marriages and relationships. Ooh, wife-changing money. But I'm not speaking for them. Just me. I've watched everyone else make money in this bull market except GameStop shareholders. We instead got to watch our investment be openly and blatantly manipulated without any sort of repercussion or accountability for half a decade while you troll on Twitter, bro. And after all that, you expect a yes vote for you to receive a fat-ass compensation package. Well, dude, well, I know you will end up with enough yes votes. None of them will be from me, man. Not unless one of two things happen. Either BBBYQ shareholders get the money that you know they are expecting, or you come clean with them and tell them that they lost. He already did. No riddles or vaguely worded tweets that you know will get twisted into some bullshit. Just say it cleanly. No former BBBY shareholders will be receiving any sort of cash payment and or equity. This has been told to them so many times. This is in official legal documents that they have read. Your shares were extinguished, canceled, they're gone, donezo. This has been explained. I think that's more than a fair ask after everything that's happened. Then perhaps they can finally let go and move on with their lives. I know I won't be supported in this. This community, for whatever reason, chooses to crucify anyone who speaks out or questions your motives because, it's a cult. It's a high control group. It's a pseudo cult. It's cultish. Motives. I know I've certainly been guilty of that. Mob mentality is a hell of a thing, but I don't care. I've caught plenty of ridicule in my personal life by following you. How is it any different that I catch it on Twitter by questioning you? I hope that somehow this thread reaches you and you choose to finally communicate with your shareholders. Why not at this point? I can understand not broadcasting your plans to the enemy, but I assure you, whatever those plans are or were, the enemy knows them by now, so why not share them with us? Again, he's still holding out hope that there's some secret plan in the background. I know I'm not alone in my frustration. I know that regardless of what people may say, their conviction is wavering. Communicating directly with your shareholders before the vote, especially the ones who followed you into Bed Bath & Beyond. My handle's a joke. I don't want to be poor for life. His handle is Poor Vita. So there you go. There's another one that's waking up a little bit. That's nice.
And said he's not passionate.
Oh, one of the people in Marantz's chat dared to insinuate that because Ryan Cohen openly said in an interview that he's not passionate about GameStop, that maybe they should look into investing in eBay instead. Morance freaked the fuck out on him. You want to see how a high control group keeps people in line? Let's watch.
Ryan Cohen said he's not passionate about GME like he is about eBay. Morance, should we be buying eBay shares too? Bob, I don't know why your name is Bob Does GME. I'm going to tell you that's the dumbest question you could ever ask. Because, one, he didn't...
Belittling the person's intelligence who asked a question, a sincere question that makes sense to ask given the circumstances. So you belittle their intelligence for even daring to question the current dogma. Sorry, didn't mean to go down.
Didn't say he's not passionate like you think he said it.
He didn't say that. What you heard with your ears wasn't real. Listen to the dogma.
Said was he didn't want the job. He doesn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it. It's
He literally used the phrase, he is not passionate about it. He said that explicitly.
retail. It's not what he does. He does e-commerce. It doesn't mean he's not doing a great job. And if you saw the deal, is eBay buying GameStop or is GameStop buying eBay? That should tell you what you should buy.
GameStop is trying to buy eBay unsuccessfully. The fact that they did something stupid doesn't make them bold. It makes them stupid.
You see, the biggest part that I hate about people like you,
directing him and the audience within the group that has not questioned anything yet to attack this person and act as though they are an enemy to the cause of GameStop, even though this person is on their side. This person is a GameStop investor. He dared question the efficacy of their Lord and Savior Ryan Cohen. So this sends a message not only to that person that you need to get back in line, and how dare you insinuate anything bad about Ryan Cohen. This is not allowed within our group. Everyone watching it now knows that they should not ask questions like this on stream openly to Marantz or otherwise, because they're going to be publicly humiliated and insulted within their high control group to keep them in line. This is a big thing in cults as well, like actual cults, not just like cultish communities online. In actual cults, you will have people be severely punished or sent out of the group in order to make an example of them, so it scares other people into the group. Control groups in general do this.
that you want to name yourself GME, Bob, let me explain something to you, because now I'm pissed. Now I'm up.
I'm pissed at you, Bob.
I'm going to explain this to you the best way I can. The same dumbasses like you are the same guys who bought Bed Bath & Beyond because, Ryan Cohen bought it. He's not the CEO of that company. He's not running that company. Why are you always trying to get ahead of something? Why are you trying to chase something? This is not something you chase. What are you trying to get? What side of the hill are you trying to get on? Do you not understand the cash we have?
He's livid. This is like a legit crash out. This is the titular meme stock meltdown. It's an actual meltdown.
Or the earnings coming out, or anything that you're not giving value to that Wall Street hasn't given us value for. We got $20 billion on a letter right now. You know who can't get a $20 billion loan? eBay.
eBay could get a $20 billion loan if they really wanted it. I don't think they have a reason to. They're doing fine right now. But the idea that only GameStop could get a $20 billion loan is crazy and really stupid, and I think a very emotional answer from Morance. Like, there's no logic behind that answer other than GameStop and Ryan Cohen are his special company and boy, and only they can gain access to capital markets.
That's who can't. When you think about how deep our pockets are, we have investors. And then we got you.
Except eBay also has investors, institutional ones that tend to make money.
Punks like you who type in the chat and say some bullshit. It's ridiculous. Oh no, we're going to get another short squeeze over here. We got to worry about tokenized stocks. No. AMC Bigums puts out a whole video today about tokenized stocks in the market. And they got people, well, are we going to get cheated out of our money? Guys, I don't know what money you think you're owed. I don't know what you think you're supposed to get back on your investment. I don't give a shit. I don't. I'm rolling with Ryan Cohen. Rain or shine. Positive, negative,
That's a bad way to invest, by the way.
pick Ryan. That's it.
Investing isn't a marriage. You're not supposed to fall in love with it. That's not how this works. Companies are instruments, are machines to make money, right? In a capitalist system. Companies are machines to convert some amount of investment into a larger amount of money after everything is said and done. The idea that you need to have some weird emotional connection to the company or the person running it is not good. That's bad advice. You're going to make unobjective decisions. You're going to make poor financial decisions based on that emotional attachment instead of looking at things objectively, or as objectively as a person reasonably can, and making those decisions. You can sell stocks. That is the ultimate goal, eventually, of the stock market, is to sell your stocks. Unless it's like a dividend thing and you just want to get dividends. But, like, generally, for retail investors, that's the idea.
Whatever Ryan's doing, I'm fucking doing. Blindly. Remember that.
He said it openly. He just said it. He'll blindly follow him off a cliff.
You can tie your hitch to anyone. I'm tying it to the billionaire kid who's been right the whole way through, never did me.
What's he been right about?
Wrong in the past 5.5 years.
He's deluded you multiple times, launched multiple projects that didn't go anywhere, like the NFT marketplace. What are you doing?
Somebody says compensation.
The Web3 shit?
Package, Marantz. Look at this thing. Yeah. Do you not know how they set that shit up? They set it up with the idea of dilution. You think they just picked 17 million shares each tranche on purpose? Like, they just did that on an accident? It's all built off of anti-takeover measures. How he can actually get his position that he's supposed to own in addition to going the way he goes. Why do you think he offered bonds? Why do you think the float went from 304 to 448? 150 million shares. Ryan says, okay, let them increase it. We'll increase this. We'll do this. Why? Because he has investors. We'll talk about it in a minute.
So he's great. It's a really good idea to question anything on his streams. He's definitely very stable. Profane Priestess with a link says, at the holders.
You stole fizzy lifting drinks. You bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed and sterilized, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Is it bad to say that this ending scene of Willy Wonka is maybe one of my favorite acting performances of all time? And most of it is just because, well, Gene Wilder was a great performer, truly excellent in everything he did. I think it contrasted with Wonka's sort of whatever whimsical attitude throughout the rest of the movie. It's great. It's really impactful. It's incredible, and all in this, like, half room. It's so good.
You stole fizzy lifting drinks. You bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed and sterilized, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Fantastic movie. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, this guy's an asshole. This guy I've not really watched before, but his video got recommended to me the other day because I've been looking at GameStop stuff. This guy is the smuggest fucking piece of shit. This is him talking to people who sell on eBay and basically telling them, we're taking over the company no matter what. So, just shut the fuck up and deal with it. Tries to make it sound like a good thing, of course. Tries to tell them, Ryan's gonna fix everything for you. But it's incredibly condescending, and it's just awful. So let's take a look.
Okay, I think I'm recording. I'm going to verify this in 1 second here. I'm going to wait for the official air as it says I'm recording. So I'm recording. How you doing, everybody? This is...
Wilder put a lot of thought into the character and had a lot of input in how Wonka would be portrayed. Yes, he's the one that actually insisted that when you see Wonka for the first time, he has the cane and he walks out like he's got an injured leg and then he does the flip. He's the one that said they have to do that, which is a pretty good choice for the character.
Your pal... And I might be the only pal you have out there. I don't know.
Homoerotic Race Car says, I'm currently relying on eBay for money, and these people's attitude is making me so angry. Yep, I know people who, like, make a living selling stuff on eBay, too. And it pisses me off how frivolously they're treating this, as if people don't depend on that site for their jobs.
Uncle Bruce is your friend here. Stock Markets with Bruce. Pick up my t-shirt on my... Redbubble store anytime you want. I think I got 12 of them. And coffee mugs and everything else. But anyway, welcome to another recording about this GameStop, eBay takeover story that keeps evolving and keeps moving along. I figure, every few days I'll do a video to kind of give you the latest updates and also...
Video's quiet, I'll turn them up.
So to help you maybe further understand what's going on and perhaps help to interpret some of the gobbledygook that you're reading about this deal. Or
He's basically saying, I know that the entire media is talking about how disastrous this deal would probably be, and Ryan Cohen isn't competent, but let me preach to you the truth of our savior Ryan Cohen and how he's gonna save you too.
You've seen elsewhere details on it. I mean, if you go to, some of these well-respected national
Korak says, what's weird is how Ryan and a bunch of people like Liz and some sect of the eBay seller community is latching onto this for their own issues. Yeah, that's not going to be good for them if that happens. I understand that eBay is a company and it's not perfect, and I'm sure they have plenty of problems with communication and everything regarding their sellers. I'm sure their sellers have a lot of issues that they would like to be addressed by eBay. I promise every eBay seller, Ryan will do the opposite. Any issues you have with eBay, Ryan will make worse. Is getting in touch with the support team difficult on eBay already? It will get much harder if Ryan is involved. It's not gonna be good. Money for like fraud stuff is gonna go down. You're gonna get fucked over by people. It's not good. It's not good. Ryan will destroy your ability to make money effectively on this site. So don't support this if you're an eBay seller.
Broadcasters who talk about this deal. I mean, are you getting one side of the story?
eBay is very anti-union, which I'm not a big fan of. They're an American company. That describes every American company. To be clear, I'm not saying that's okay. I just want to point out that is not unique to eBay. Every company in America is anti-union.
You probably noticed nobody likes the deal. Nobody on a major network likes the deal. None of the big financial papers or publications like the deal.
It's almost like it's a really bad deal for almost everyone except Ryan Cohen.
And you got to wonder how many paid shills are out there to...
Everyone disagrees with me. They must be paid shills. It's impossible that I'm wrong or just hold a minority opinion. Everyone else are paid shills. This is paranoid conspiratorial thinking, by the way. You see this on Tinfoil Tuesdays all the time. Same thought process, same mechanisms.
Write up stories of more and more ridiculous stories about GameStop and Ryan Cohen and how stupid it is to try to buy a company much larger than yours, and on and on and on. I mean, it never ends. But here's something I want you to understand. There's a couple of things I want you to get. This deal isn't going away just because eBay's directors said, "Oh, we don't think this is accretive to our company. We don't believe that this is in the best interest of our shareholders." Or other publications say, this has no way of working, or the math doesn't add up, or whatever. This deal,
it's no big deal when the math doesn't work. It's fine, right? You're good. You're good when, like, the math we explicitly gave you about how much we're going to buy you for literally doesn't add up. That's cool, right? That's, like, super cool when that happens. Sorry, let me adjust something real quick.
isn't going away unless Ryan Cohen and his team at GameStop.
Sounds like something a shill would say, Hannah. How much are they paying you? Not enough. Not enough. The shills should start a union. Korax, how about you and I team up and we get the rest of the people on GME Meltdown and we'll all unionize. So Ken Griffin has to pay us way more tendies to talk about these people.
Stop.
I want dental.
Officially back off and say we're not interested in this deal anymore. We've decided to not pursue this matter. Then that's the only way it'll die. Because to me, the logical next step for Ryan Cohen and GameStop is to make a formal tender offer for the company. And my guess on it, or my take on it, is it doesn't matter if...
Something I guess I'm a little curious about right now, I've seen other meme stock people trying to directly talk to eBay sellers about this deal and why it would be good for them. It wouldn't be, but why they think it would be good for them. Are they aware that eBay sellers, don't get to vote on this? eBay sellers do not inherently own shares in eBay. The vast majority of eBay shares are owned institutionally by the same people that voted for the board of directors that told them no. This isn't going to get you more votes. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Only 50% of the shareholders take up the offer, or 20% or 80%. It doesn't matter.
They might be doing something in their head where, like, in their minds, GameStop is owned all by the fanatical cult that they're in. So maybe they think every stock works that way, and that, like, people using eBay must be fanatical cultists like they are about GameStop. I don't understand.
Because at the end of the day, I think the worst case scenario is GameStop will end up with a chunk of eBay so large that they'll be the dominant shareholder of the company.
So right now, through derivatives that have not happened yet, so they haven't necessarily bought yet, they have call put pairs, I believe, that expire next month on the 18th. And if they executed them to buy the shares, they would have like a little over 6% of the company. I don't remember the exact amount at this point. It's a little over 6%. What would they do after that? You think they're going to get to over 51% of the company? They'd be burning through so much of their cash, they straight up do not have the capital to buy over 50% of eBay, or even a more substantial plurality. Like, they can't. They don't have the money for it.
And it's then only a matter of time that they make another tender offer, say 6 months from now, for, you know, another bunch of stock. And they'll get to 50+%, and they'll then force it over. The thing that people keep asking me about, if you've watched my videos now on this whole thing, if you read the comments, and thank you for those of you who are giving me thumbs ups and subscribing to my channel and saying, hey, thank you very much, Bruce, for helping me out. I appreciate it. There are some of those folks out there who are saying, isn't this going to be dilutive to the stock? Well, yeah, but at the end of the day, do you want to own, if you're a GameStop shareholder, do you want to have a share of GameStop on a $22 stock right now? Or do you want to own a share of GameStop that has assets of $60 million and is part of the S&P 500 index?
And has liabilities of over $20 billion? Is that going to be good for the stock price, you think?
I think it's a win. I don't care if 2/3 of all the shares out there, when it's all said and done, are held by eBay shareholders. It doesn't matter. Who's running the company is what matters.
I think the people running the company now are better than Ryan Cohen.
And
I think you could get like a Chihuahua, like literally, you know that movie Beverly Hills Chihuahua? Get the dog from Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2 and have it run eBay, or rather GameStop or anything. I think they do it better than Cohen, because no Chihuahua has ever said the term NFT marketplace.
How is that person or persons running the company? And how is eBay going forward with its profitability and its relationship with its vendors, which is the most important thing? Shareholders are important, but vendors, the sellers on eBay, they're everything. No one talks about those 115 million people.
Correct says RC's plan is basically Doge for eBay. I'll let you decide how that'll work for yourself. It's not even just that. It's that it's internally inconsistent. He both wants to cut a ridiculous amount of expenses, including advertisement, while at the same time growing the company into an Amazon competitor. Like, this is the equivalent of a politician coming on TV and saying, I'm going to increase services and reduce taxes for all. Like, you can't realistically do that, because you're pulling in opposite directions, right? You can't do both and have them both happen to their full effect. That's not how this works.
Who are vendors on eBay? Nobody talks about. I want to say hi to the vendors of eBay. I want to say, how you doing? I want to let you know that I once was a vendor on eBay. And I did it full time for 2 years. I was a 2-year full-time vendor on eBay in
Cool. I used to sell DVDs on eBay when I was in high school for like a year. Doesn't make me an expert on eBay.
another life, way back in the early 2000s.
I wish I wouldn't have sold those DVDs, by the way. I want them now.
When the world was a whole different place. We're talking 23 years ago. 23 years ago. I was a full-time vendor on eBay. Before that, back in the early 1990s, I was a retailer selling sports cards and comic books. And so I did that for 3 or 4 years. In my 30s, this is going back a ways. So I have the comic book sports card experience. I have the eBayer experience. I have the stock market experience, having been in the brokerage business. And I'm sitting here watching this deal happen in front of my eyes, and I'm going, oh my God, I know about the vendor side. I know about the product side. I know about the collectible side. I know about the market side. Oh, this is incredible. I'm telling
I think it would probably help if you understood reality right now and Ryan Cohen's incompetency and the fact that it doesn't benefit eBay at all to acquire GameStop. Like, your domain knowledge doesn't help if you're delusional about the situation.
you folks, and all of you eBay vendors out there, you're the backbone of that company. Without you, eBay would die overnight. And you guys, all 115 million of you, could make this deal happen like that. And you know how you can do it? You team up with the GameStop shareholders.
Again, he's talking to the sellers on eBay as if they are as if they're shareholders of eBay. What?
If you're a GameStop lover, GameStop shareholder, GameStop follower, you used to own GameStop once, you've shifted your account into other investments, or you're sitting on ETFs that own eBay stock in their portfolio, all of you combined, and that could well be 150 million people. I don't know how many we're talking about here. All of you combined could make this deal happen almost instantaneously. And the easiest way to think about it is this. There are 444 million shares of eBay out in the street. That's how many exist. 444 million. Management of the company and the board of directors, all the senior...
Is he going to tell them to buy stock to vote? How many eBay how many eBay sellers are there? Are there even enough that would make sense if they bought one share each? Let me look. $18 to 25 million global sellers. So you would need virtually every single person who is selling on eBay in the entire world to buy stock in eBay. I don't think that's going to happen. This reminds me a little bit of the ape fantasy of the infinity... What do they call it? They call it the infinity pool? No, the whatever the fuck they call it, where they think that they can just hold the stock forever and make the price go up infinitely if none of them choose to sell because they've never heard of a prisoner's dilemma before. Or how stock price discovery works.
People who run that outfit have 2/3 of 1% of the stock. So I'm going to guess that's about 3 million shares out of 444 million. The rest of those shares are out there in the hands of institutional investors, retail investors, you name it, all over the world. There's 115 million of you guys. There's 150 million of you guys. If only you give me that kind of viewership, I'd really appreciate it.
No, he's including eBay. Oh, he's including all eBay users, including the buyers. The number he gives is for buyers, not sellers. Sellers are between 18 and 25 million. So he wants everyone who buys things on eBay? Or does he not know he got the number mixed up?
As a matter of fact, if you can do me a big favor.
Oh, and it was 400 million, not 40. So even if every single seller bought, they wouldn't have close to half. You would need like every eBay buyer to buy. Oh my god, yeah, this makes no goddamn sense.
With this video, not only give me a thumbs up and subscribe, but forward this video to anyone you know that's an eBay seller that's ever bought on eBay before.
Okay, he really believes it. Okay. I buy things on eBay, not so much these days, but I have historically for like Blu-rays that are out of print or hard to find.
Get him.
I absolutely do not want Ryan Cohen near the thing.
Get him to watch this video, because all of you small little people out there, none of you are billionaires. You're all thousandaires, hundredaires. All of you have the power to make this deal happen in a microsecond. And all it is
I feel like I'm watching someone proselytize the power of the market.
Some shares of eBay.
Feels like capitalism as religion. Does that make sense? The way they behave feels like capitalism, but as religion.
Buy one share for
But like a really stupid version of capitalism.
$13.
That doesn't even understand market mechanics.
Buy 2 shares, 4 shares, but an increment of a share, at least one. Buy 100, buy 1,000, whatever you want. If you've got investments in ETFs worth $10,000, you can sell some of that, say $2,000 worth of that, and buy $2,000 worth of eBay, or $5,000 worth of eBay, or all.
Yeah, just buy $5,000. Just, if you could do me a favor, person who's random and I don't actually know, if you could just like spend $5,000 on eBay stock so Ryan Cohen could get his good boy points, I would love it.
But just put it all into eBay. Why would you want to do that? Because every share you have gives you a vote on whether the deal goes through or not. That's the kicker here. By the way, I want to pop this up just so you can see this. This is the closing price today of eBay stock. Right now in the after hours, it's 113.18. Closed today at 113.01. It hit a new high for the year, $113.73.
It's at 115 right now.
I think, and by the way, this chart,
it's continued to go up since for the most part, it continued to go up after they rejected Ryan Cohen's offer. It's tapered off a bit starting on the 20th. But yeah, it got a boost from rejecting Ryan Cohen, which is hilarious.
Chart you're looking at came from April of this year. So
by the way, the actual shares that Ryan did buy that are real shares and not the derivatives, he bought at $117 a piece, which is higher than the stock's been. So not going to make a big profit on that unless he holds it for a bit.
It's April, May, and to April and May. So it's like a 30-day chart, I think. Yeah, 1 month.
Deep Space Nine did this already. I probably can't play most of this.
That's the rumor. Rumor? Well, you've made all these deals based on a rumor from a very reliable source. Well, what if it turns out not to be true? You have to have faith, Chief. In a rumor? No. In the great material continuum.
I forgot that scene. I gotta rewatch Deep Space Nine. It's good stuff. In the material continuum.
A month ago, the stock was what, $100, under $100. Now it's one.
You don't get it. The Ferengi are a species in Star Trek that their entire culture is hyper-capitalism. So basically, they practice capitalism as a religion. So he's appealing to the market, the material stuff, as a deity almost. Yeah, economics is their religion.
113. Right?
Capitalistic economics is their religion.
And in the last week...
And Nog became the first Ferengi in Starfleet. He became Captain Nog. Good job, Nog.
Ever since eBay...
He learned better.
His management said we don't...
Oh, Nog is also one of the few people to beat the Kobayashi Maru test. Do you know how he beat the Kobayashi Maru test? He tried to negotiate financially with the attackers. I think by the time of Deep Space Nine, the Kobayashi Maru villains were not Klingon anymore. They were... What were they? Romulans? I want to say they changed it to Romulans in that era.
You don't want this deal. The stock has gone up. Have you noticed that? Everyone, I think, has noticed that. From about 108 to now 113. If you own one
Cardassians would make sense. Cardassians would make sense.
share of the stock, you're entitled to one vote, yes or no, on the deal.
How's the test work? Basically, it's supposed to be an unwinnable test. It's like a test where you are put in a simulation where you are a captain of a starship and there's a distress beacon in the neutral zone where they're not supposed to go for legal reasons. So you have to try and save a ship that has been marooned, basically, in the neutral zone. You will then be confronted by enemies, and then you have to decide what to do. You always lose. There's not supposed to be any way to win the test, but very few captains have figured out a way to cheese the system. Captain Kirk being one, Nog. There's been some others in there. I think Sulu might have. Altered Undying says, who was the guy who went smells like a trap and shot the passenger ship? I don't remember. That was someone.
Tender offer being made by GameStop, you will be asked to vote on the deal, or you will be offered the opportunity to...
The Kobayashi Maru test is bullshit. Why? No, it's not. The entire point of the test is to see how you operate under a worst-case scenario. You're not supposed to win it. No one is supposed to win. Some people have just cheesed it, and that's interesting. But it's about evaluating a captain's ability to function under a life-or-death situation where death is basically inevitable. It's a no-win situation.
Tender your shares to the offer.
The student goes in knowing they'll fail. It's an unfair experience. That's part of it. Sometimes you go into no-win situations knowing you can't win, but you still have to take action to mitigate problems for other people. That's the point.
And what is the offer? You buy the stock at $113.18.
Yeah, it's a test of character.
And for every
there's no right answer. It's just revealing.
Share you tender, you get $62.50 a share in cash.
Sorry, that was a whole Star Trek tangent. I apologize.
Back, and the remainder you'll get in GameStop shares, which right now with GameStop at about 22 odd bucks a share, 2.8 shares for every eBay share you have. So you'll have, say you got 100 eBay shares, you're going to end up with 280 GBay shares. If it's GBay, I'm just using
that'd be a shitty name,
an acronym. And so you end up with 6250 cash, or 60 in this case 100 times 6250 if it's 100 shares, and 2.8 shares or 280 shares. There's 150 million of you out there. 150 million of you out there.
Again, that's everyone who's ever been on eBay and bought something. This would be like saying, anyone who's ever eaten in a McDonald's, if you just all buy stock together, we'll own the company. I guess. But to what end? Why do you assume everyone who's a customer of this business believes the same things you do, or even cares? Altered Undying says, Kirk couldn't lose because he lived through a genocide, so he can't accept a no-win situation.
And if you all bought one share, in other words, if you shared this video with anyone you ever knew or met that once was involved with eBay in one share, one form or another, and all of those folks bought one share each, that would be 150.
If everybody on the planet sent me 50 cents, I'd be a billionaire. Like, you might as well be saying that. Like, what is this what if? It's so unrealistic. It's nonsense.
50 million shares. If you bought 3 shares each, that's 450 million shares. There's only 444 million in existence. And the directors and the senior officers are praying to God that none of you will do this. That no small army of investors will go out there and buy 10 shares, 5 shares.
Are you aware if a group of people went to go buy eBay shares and tried to buy over 51%, it would shoot the price up, so as you purchased them, it would get more and more expensive to buy the same amount of shares, giving you diminishing returns? Like, is he aware? If a bunch of people go try to buy a stock all at the same time, the price is going to go up.
shares, 50 shares, 200, 300 shares, 500 shares. They're praying to the Lord above. Please do not give them any ideas, because if these people acquire stock in eBay here, even up to 120 a share, buy it all up, 2 here, 5 there, 200 here, doesn't matter, and then you offer to tender your stock to GameStop, this deal's done. 51% of the company, 50.0111%, they have
I just need half the population of the United States to all agree with the decision that makes me money.
Majority control. Remember, GameStop already has 5% of the stock, and I hear you folks out there who've been, yapping.
New follower, Daddy has big fat cookies. Thanks for following. Sweet Lily Love says, where is he expected to get the money from to buy eBay in the first place? They have $9 billion. They have $20 billion potentially as a loan from a financial institution, and the rest they are planning on diluting from retail shareholders.
In a way, well, they don't own the shares, Bruce. They own some stock, but they really have derivatives and call options. That's okay. GameStop can exercise their derivatives, their options, and tender their shares to themselves.
Right, but they might choose not to do that. Like, who knows what they're going to do? I'm not saying they're not going to execute those derivatives. They very well may. But, like, there's no guarantee they're going to.
Don't worry about that. 5% of eBay is already in the bin, okay?
It's not.
They only need 45.0001% more. 45% of all the stock outstanding is 218 million, maybe 210 million shares. So 150 million of you that could be watching this video that won't be watching this video. But wouldn't that throw the analytics of my channel out the door? In any event, there you are. It's that simple. Look, if 10 million people decide to buy eBay stock on this tender offer takeover deal, they buy 1 share each. That's 10 million shares. They buy 100 shares each. It's 100 million shares.
If 1 million people came and all gave me $1, I'd have so much money. This is what he sounds like. Like, what are we even fucking talking about here in this hypothetical that's so divorced from reality it's not even worth considering? Ashley with 50 bits says, Mackenzie Calhoun won the Kobayashi Maru test by destroying the freighter. His reasoning was that the civilian ship would not have strayed so close to the neutral zone, therefore it must have been a trap by the enemy. Oh, okay. That's a unique one.
They buy 200 shares. That's 200 million shares, and that's almost 45% of the company, and that's right there. The majority.
He looks so excited. He's a gambling addict, and the roulette wheel is spinning. Of course he's excited.
Of the stock with eBay's existing position. This doesn't take much. And this is where the Wall Streeters know, or they are stupid enough not to know. And believe me, there are some people out there who believe that they come off and they try to come off as real experts in the market. They don't know jack squat about.
Whoa, I can't believe that happens. Maybe we should look into that sometime on stream.
What's going on. But then there are others in the market that do know that, oh my God, if an army of people went after eBay stock and tendered the shares to Ryan Cohen for this deal.
Black's Law Dictionary request. What do you want me to look up? Pump and dump? Okay.
The company. And all Ryan Cohen is doing is utilizing the ammunition and weaponry that Wall Street has had at its availability forever. He's just gone to a bank, in this case.
Wow, it kind of sounds like he's just another billionaire asshole trying to do a leveraged buyout so he can feel like a big boy tech bro.
TD Bank is the lead banker and said, look, I want to borrow 20 billion.
As we get further into neo-feudalism, I really hope I don't end up in the Ryan Cohen-controlled sector of the country. I don't want to be under Elon either, but I'd take him over Ryan. The future is gonna suck.
Billion or so, maybe 25 billion, plus the 10 billion we got to launch a takeover of eBay. And the bank is going, oh, yeah, you're going to use the assets of eBay as your collateral for the 20.
Reptilian Dueler, thanks for 27 months, says 27 months. That's a sub baby. You love you parasocially, Hannah. Thank you. This sub baby's name is going to be Unrealized Losses. That's the name of this baby. Unrealized Losses.
$20 billion loan? Yeah, because it's all going to be one company called GBay, like eBay Plus.
Pump and dump scam. 2008, securities. A fraudulent scheme or practice whereby one or more unscrupulous stockholders generate interest in a stock, luring new, usually unsophisticated investors to artificially drive up the price before the original stockholders sell their shares at grossly inflated prices, thereby ultimately causing the stock's price to plummet. The methods used to generate interest include circulating rumors and making false, misleading, or grossly exaggerated statements, often on social media platforms or through other channels used by unsophisticated investors. See securities fraud under fraud. That's fun. Hats off. What do you want me to look up for hats off? Or what do you want me to wear for hats off, Nearest?
The new eBay, or just eBay with GameStop.
Tinfoil hat. Let me see if I can find one.
Thrown in there. Whatever. The bank is going, oh, we'll lend you $20 billion. It's a $44 billion company before you're making an offer on the damn thing. Of course, we'll lend you $30 billion. In reality, believe it or not, in reality, Ryan Cohen could go to a series of bankers and borrow $58 billion in cash and offer $125 in.
No, he can't. No one's going to give him $50 billion. Even the $20 billion that they have is contingent on it not affecting the credit of eBay, which it would affect the credit. So it's basically $20 billion that's probably not going to happen anyway. Sorry.
In cash for the whole damn thing. And he'll get enough votes to make that happen. He'll get enough shares to make it happen. And then there'll only be 444 million shares outstanding at GameStop. And GameStop has a $50 billion loan against a corporation. But he doesn't have to do that. He's not going to have to do it. Put up half cash, half stock, and the deal is a done deal. At the end of it, I'm guessing $30 to $40 a share is where the shares are going to trade at when it's all one big company. And if it's trading at 30,
why in the world do you think it would trade at that after taking on so much debt? They'd be so over leveraged.
Shareholders have 2.8 shares each of a $30 stock. So they're sitting at $80 stock plus the $62.50 they already got. They're laughing. They're laughing. The board of directors are laughing. They're on their yachts. They're in their private jets. They've all been paid off. They've all been bought out. They've all been let go. The CEO of the company is going to walk away with $110 million. Don't cry for this poor bugger. He's fine. All of his lieutenants, they're all going to be multimillionaires all over the place. Everybody wins in that group.
I'm not worried about the rich people. I'm worried about the people selling on eBay. Gray Freya with the 20 stream streak says, looking cute, Hannah. Thank you.
But the GameStop shareholders win because you're going to be sitting on a $30, $40 stock now instead of a $22 stock. And your company is now followed by 38 analysts and your S&P 500.
Sounds a lot like this is a really shit deal for anyone using eBay for its actual function. Feels like the economy now has nothing to do with the actual functioning of producing goods or providing services effectively, efficiently, and well, but instead it's all a meta. We are in a stage of capitalism where rich people are just playing the meta with no regard to the effect that has on the material conditions of real people and the companies they run, so they continually enrich themselves while destroying everything they touch. Really great. Hydrate. Will do.
The index. And now Ryan Cohen can get to work to fix this thing and make it run on all cylinders.
Boy, that would be a really stupid thing to say if Ryan Cohen was an idiot who's never done anything successfully as a CEO except burn VC cash.
perfection rather than what it's doing right now. Despite itself, eBay makes money. Despite the weight.
Okay. You get it. He's a smug asshole. All right, I have to pee real quick. I know we're at 3 hours, but I think I'm going to go a little bit longer today. It's a Saturday anyway, and I'm still feeling good, so we'll keep going for a little bit. Let me just find something for Chair to tell you about, and then I'll pee, and then I'll come back. Oh, boy. Chair will tell you about 7 Days, the complete series. I don't know if this is gonna stay. Is this gonna stay? Oh, I hit the button back here. That's not... Fuck it, good enough. Hannah sits in chair. I gotta see what this looked like, because I didn't see it. But yeah, I accidentally sat down in the wrong place. Let's see how this looked.
To make it happen. And then there'll only be 444 million shares outstanding.
That wasn't the... All right, what are we doing next? Do I have any shorter clips of Marantz I wanted to play? Let's try this one out. No, wait, do I have another one? Okay, we'll do this one.
Shut your ass up.
Sure.
All right. So let's think this through. He called it a $4 stock, which is fine. I'm not gonna get mad. You know, there's cash here.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Please don't tell the papers I'm mad.
Here on GameStop. GameStop has a lot of cash. Okay. They're trading at a 28 PE ratio. So 28 times their earnings. But the idea behind valuation is just not earnings. If you had a PE ratio, what's the average PE ratio? So I had to go look this up because I wanted to make sure that the numbers made sense. So here it's going to tell you that the average index PE ratio for, it says here for consumer discretionary stocks, is ideally for the whole thing.
I want to point out that this is even qualifying it. He's using AI, first of all, which is embarrassing for him. But secondly, it says PE ratio on operating expenses, or rather operating earnings. I assume he's going to compare this to GameStop's overall PE ratio that's going to include their T-bills, which he shouldn't because it has nothing to do with their operating earnings.
As I scroll down here, it tells you that it trades at around 26.2 and or 31.9. 31.9 is the average for consumer discretionary. Now, just so we're clear, I want to use this metric and I want to go to the financials and I want to show you GameStop on a diluted share price of 77 cents per share. but 93 on the actual float right now. So 93 cents is what they trade at per share. So if I took it to $32, or I'm sorry, 31 is the PE ratio. So I'm going to do simple math for everyone. According to the earnings of GameStop, they should be trading at 93 times 31, 28.83. And that's where Wall Street buys it, by the way. That's where the bonds are. They're all there at that fair value of what consumer discretionary stocks are. Now, if we multiply...
He's so mad that the stock price doesn't match whatever arbitrary higher number he thinks it should be at.
that by the 448 million shares, I apologize. That's going to get you to 12.9. Everybody. GameStop's a $12 billion company, Marantz. That's what that proves. But that's just earnings. That's projected earnings and value. Do I get to add in the cash? Do I get to add in the assets minus the liabilities? I know there's a 0% coupon on cash. We don't owe it yet. So for the next...
Are you including the $4 billion in debt?
5 years, can we give them the valuation they deserve? Are we allowed to do it that way?
Are we counting the unrealized losses on all the crypto he bought? Altered Undying says, before you go, did you get the weird video I sent? The one with no sounds. Was it on... Where was it? Did you send it to me in a DM? Oh, yeah, I did. I did look at that. I have no idea what that is. I assume it's for some internal purpose that they're using, but it somehow just got served to people.
I'd love to do it because I'm going to go ahead and put in $9.5 billion right now. That puts them at 22.4. S&P 500 inclusion? Let's divide that by the 448. 448 million shares. And that puts them at $50 a share. So, GameStop fundamentally, based off of their earnings and assets combined, which I'm allowed to do. Don't let them tell you I can't. GameStop trades at $50 a share. Fundamentally, no speculation, no.
Well, here's the thing. In the real world, it doesn't. So, I don't know how to break that to you. Nemesaur, thank you so much for gifting 10 tier 1 subs to the community. I appreciate it. Altered Undying says it was a YouTube ad. It's interesting. Maybe they accidentally did it? I don't know.
No extra. That's just GameStop is a $50 a stock company. They're already trading or where they should be at $22 billion. And then we throw in eBay's overvalue because they're not a $100 stock. They bought it all back. So let's just call it $100 what they think they are. They should be trading.
Does Judge Bunny find people's eggs? I'll have you know that that's actually a very offensive stereotype. Only the Easter Bunny does anything with eggs, and he hides eggs. He doesn't even find them. So I'll let this one slide, but you need to watch your microaggressions. This is not okay, okay? Us bunnies are a proud and ancient peoples. You can't do this to us.
Trading at $40 billion. We're paying the premium just to acquire it, but we're going to own it. Whatever we pay for it, we don't lose value on that. That's what we don't do. So you'd have a $100 stock. Let me think about this for a second. I'm doing math really quick.
Sorry you committed bunny racism. Tell that to my 400 children.
You would have 48 billion plus GameStop real value, which should be 22. So you would have $70 billion company. GameStop, eBay combined, $70 billion. Now let's see how much earnings that produces. And GameStop already put it out there that they're going to come out and make essentially $4 billion off the rip. GameStop's going to make $1 billion this year, if not more. 1.5 billion maybe. Remember, we have a huge increase on this eBay position of 6.5. So let's just call it that we make combined, cumulatively, 5.5 billion. So if I go 5 billion, I'm just ballparking numbers here because that's the numbers put in front of me that I know of. 5.5 billion is the earnings of GameStop after they own eBay. They get it for a year and they
come back to stream to find chat involved in heresy. God damn it, that's
clean
good.
it up, whatever. I'm great with it. We're going to do the math really quick because you guys are with me. Now, the best part about this is if it were that type of company, it would still be called a tech company. Would it be called a consumer discretionary company? What would it be called at that point?
It'd be an online retailer.
Well, I want to go to the 31.9 that I just told you about, okay? But let's go with different metrics. Let's go and look at the average S&P 500 stock.
Oh my God, again, he's using AI. Holy shit. That's embarrassing, man.
Currently trading at 20.
Just a Peach with a $1 tip says, so you are money-wise if you have a small amount in savings and had bought a car on a loan you're not paying off, according to Marantz.
6 times. So if I take the 5.5 and I times that by 25, I'll be on the low side. That comes out to $137 billion. $137 billion company in 1 year from the minute they grab it and own it.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard.
And fix it. They'll be worth $137 billion. Did I say billion? I hope I said billion. Oh, man. The average mid-cap company right now, by the way, trades at 21.5. Mid-cap 400. 21.5. GameStop makes almost $1 a share. They will after Q1 right now. Not if not more, because I'm already telling you. They're going to hit some shit on the sheet. But $1 means these guys are crazy. Right? I mean, GameStop's crazy at that point. They're going to be making $500 million. And times that by the 26, 21 mid-cap. I mean, they're really $11 billion. At that point, plus the 9, they're a $20 billion company.
Did you notice he didn't include any of the 20 billion in loans in any of that calculation? Or the 4 billion GameStop is already bringing to the table in debt? Like, he just ignored. Someone else said it in chat. He ignored all the liabilities. Interesting.
All right, guys, good morning. I want to recap what we were talking about last night on the live stream. And welcome back to Morance. Morance, plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, a whole lot of truth, no financial advice.
The name of this video is GameStop will buy eBay no matter what.
So here was what we talked about. It was the fact that GameStop is in the best position possible to own eBay. And it's pretty awesome. It's like holding them ransom. Ryan Cohen did something that no one else could do. And here's how it actually works. Ryan, by buying derivatives, not shares, he uses his cash the most wise way, right? So it doesn't cost as much to own a call contract, but to own a call contract to represent...
Right, but then you pay, when you execute the contract, you pay for shares as well, right? It's not just the cost of the contract for the calls. If the calls actually, you do them, you execute them, then you have to pay the price that's on it.
X amount of...
Because that's what it is. It's an agreement to have the possibility, to have the opportunity to buy a certain amount of shares in a company at a specific price.
Shares is ideal.
By a certain
Certainly
date.
When you're on, well, we're going to talk about volatility.
And European ones work different than American ones for some reason.
For eBay. Let's talk about eBay's share price first. And let's think about what it means to GameStop. GameStop came out and made an offer for eBay at $125 a share. So naturally, everybody started pushing up eBay's share price. Not understanding what that would do for GameStop. They haven't figured this part out, but they soon will.
There's no they, Marantz. There isn't an evil person on the other end of this.
By them closing the gap and saying, you know what, we're worth X amount of dollars, they're not realizing what they're doing for GameStop. They're actually increasing GameStop's unrealized paper gains. And GameStop gets to show those paper gains on their income statement. Okay, so when GameStop does that, they get to show how much money they made this quarter, and a good portion of it is going to be the fact that they're in a positive position for their eBay position. The higher price that you keep throwing up eBay, the more dollars GameStop's going to make for the quarter. And by GameStop making more money for the quarter...
Does he understand he's describing market manipulation? Like, if Ryan Cohen went into the acquisition intentionally to pump up the stock price of eBay in order to make money for himself and the company without taking the acquisition seriously, that would be criminal. That would be a criminal activity. That would be criminal market manipulation.
That then in turn is going to make them more valuable per share. So you're actually going to get less.
Again, I will say this. Again, the SEC isn't doing shit. Like, they do not give a fuck anymore, if they ever did. But, ethically and legally, not cool.
Less of a equity position in GameStop for the conversion of the eBay offer.
And you hate how he has to take his hand off the wheel to do those gesticulations because his other hand is holding the camera. Yeah, this is incredibly dangerous and stupid. I don't know why people do this.
Ryan is basically...
I hate when people film in their car and they're driving. It's one thing if you're parked, whatever. That's fine. But when you're driving, absolutely not.
Making these executives look like dumbasses because they are not playing the same game. They're playing the game of protecting their company or their job and not doing the fiduciary thing to take the offer. If you could take the offer on GameStop shares at $25, you gladly would. But if you think GameStop shares are going to be worth $25, you're dreaming. There's a lot of defense mechanisms put into place right now that Ryan can do to make his offer all that more valuable. One, he can continue to push out the idea that he's going to buy eBay. And for that, they have to pump up eBay to make his offer seem undesirable. If eBay were to drop in value, let's get down to...
The offer was undesirable from the get-go, for the record, Marantz.
$85 where GameStop bought it, so they show no gains at all.
GameStop didn't buy at $85. The paperwork that they filed specifically showed that they bought at $117. He's either lying or doesn't know what he's talking about. Christ.
Well, now look at the actual offer. You're offering the 29 billion, 28 billion cash. That 26 billion cash. However you want to cut up the math, I don't really care. Whatever the offer is at 28 billion, 27.5 billion, you have to take that cash value, and then you're going to have to take a GameStop share that can't go below $20, $21. And why can't it? Because they actually have that insulation underneath it. eBay's in a really bad spot. They're in a pickle. They're in they're a rock and a hard spot. And here
they are not. They're doing well for themselves. They've consistently improved their metrics over the last 5 years. Again, not saying there's some perfect company. I'm sure there's tons of problems. It's a private, for-profit company. It's going to have problems. I don't understand why you think Ryan Cohen is going to do anything positive.
Here's why.
It's a cult. It's a cult. It's a cult.
Because Ryan's going to show gains on GameStop. He's going to show the sheet. He's going to show all the profits. They're actually putting in power packs. They're putting in, they're going up against Canadian numbers last year where there were closing stores and they had, adjusted EBITDA that's going to fit the bottom of the sheet. So if you understand how GameStop's going to come out ahead, GameStop's going to be able to show a massive increase on earnings per share, a massive increase on income at the bottom, net income. And by doing all of these things, this is the perfect opportunity for Ryan. And he can say, we're going to do share buybacks with the cash that we have since the deal's not going through. He can do a lot of different things, and it wouldn't matter what he does because they're stuck. eBay is stuck.
I remember when apes were against buybacks.
They can't go any higher than the offer he's giving them. They think they can, but the higher they go, that's how much GameStop increases in earnings per quarter. And that, in turn, picks up GameStop's share price.
You can't assume that that growth rate is consistent because that growth rate was built on cutting unprofitable stores, and there are only so many unprofitable stores for them to cut. Once the cutting is done and you've cut to the bone, that's all there is. You can't really increase anymore outside of expanding the business, and Ryan Cohen so far has had zero ideas to actually expand GameStop's business.
So the offer for eBay gets smaller.
Yeah, he's delusional about GameStop stock.
On the rollover equity. GameStop is now the bigger company. And people don't get it because they keep looking at eBay being a 4x company compared to GameStop's 1x on that. So 48 billion versus 10 billion, however they want to call it. It doesn't matter, whatever they say. They're wrong. They're absolutely wrong.
Electric Brain says, I feel like this is how religion works. The more they get evidence against their beliefs, the more they double down on those beliefs. It's actually not just religion. I'm reading a book right now called When Prophecy Fails, and it's all about that. When people have some big thing that they're looking forward to, a prediction of some kind, especially if they believe it with other people in a community, when that prediction becomes false, it actually doesn't get people to leave that belief system, at least not most of them. Some will leave. Again, that's that distillation effect. But those that remain in the group will actually have stronger convictions towards those beliefs and increase their amount of proselytization to other people outside of the group to bring new people in. It's a whole thing.
Because they don't understand how much profits are being generated, how much cash is on the sheet for each company, what's the actual debt, and what's the actual value of each company. eBay is not 4 times bigger than GameStop. It might be on paper. It might be to you.
It might be in reality, but I live in Marantz land where anything I believe can be true.
It's not 4 times bigger than GameStop. It might be on paper.
Literally with math, the way that we figure out these things.
It might be to you, the avid or the novice, but nope, that's not the truth. So GameStop's in a power spot right now.
I reject your reality and substitute it with my own.
They're making it to where they're going
Dungeon Master
to be on the plus side of the deal, and that's the real game that's happening right now. And it'll take time to play out. GameStop has to announce their earnings. They have to announce their gains. eBay, they're already stuck because GameStop's cutoff date was the 1st of May. And if you understand the 1st of May, that's when GameStop announced that they were actually going to acquire eBay. That increased their position in eBay. That increased their position in the amount of earnings they have for the quarter. All the above just happened on the final day of the quarter. So kudos to Ryan. He did it right. And
the guy on Mythbusters was quoting the movie Dungeon Master.
Shout out to all you GameStop investors who've been holding for so long, because this is the game we're playing. But it's a for sure win. 100% lock. There's nothing they can do. They're stuck. eBay is GameStop's. GameStop's going to buy it. GameStop will own eBay. Ryan Cohen will be the
I didn't get the reference.
CEO.
Sorry.
It's going to happen. Peace.
Okay. Is there anything else I wanted to look at today? We'll probably save the Michael thing. I don't know, maybe a little bit of the pee-pee show, at least the intro or beginning.
All right, let's dive into
Then we'll call it a night. Tomorrow, I am going to be doing a regular stream and a patron and YouTube member-only stream. Sorry about last week's technical issues, but tomorrow we will be doing a patron and YouTube member stream, as well as a normal one, so look forward to that.
Let's not waste any more time here. We'll start with Sal, a fan favorite man. He actually had some breaking news here. Hold on one second. It's actually a little bit different here.
Oh, this is funny. They're all freaking out about this.
There we go. All right, let's take a look at what Sal has for us this afternoon. Hey, let's see what's going on.
Oh, this was actually a different thing than I thought.
With Sal here. Hang on, give me just 1 second, fellas, and I want to read this. I have so many tabs opened up right now, so...
The June shareholders meeting is on June 17th. Is there even time to tender an offer to shareholders before this meeting?
Just a brief moment.
I don't know if they have time to get this on any of the like shareholder ballots. I don't know if they can even do that. I don't know how early on before a meeting like this you need to tender the offer, but
also, for the people out there messaging on X, yes, we can see all your messages here as well. For some reason, when I type in the chat, you guys can't see it. So shout out to the people watching on X as well. We got a lot of viewers here today. All right, so Sal actually has some
Yeah, PP's doing kind of a religious grift now a little bit. He's Jesus-y now.
breaking news. We don't have that new button yet, but we'll be stated in here soon. All right, Sal says eBay just filed a DEFA 14A confirming their annual shareholder meeting is on June 17th, 2026. Will Ryan Cohen escalate the acquisition attempt before this date? It's highly likely he planned this into his timeline for his ambitious acquisition. I will say it is interesting timing, Sal. And again, you know, you have to wonder because the current annual shareholder meeting for GameStop is on 6/08. 6/08, obviously, I think I have heard that it is Roaring Kitty's birthday. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, which is an interesting date to
As if that matters, as if someone at eBay picked their shareholder meeting date by being like, this is that meme stock guy's birthday.
But not only is it Roaring Kitty's birthday on this date that the GameStop board is going to be getting together and actually, doing like this vote here on the shareholder meeting. It also lines up with the horse head, the 1-2 switch that we saw a few years ago. For some people,
I remember that. They used to say that that was because of the stalking horse bid on Bed Bath & Beyond.
Who don't remember the stalking horse bid for Bed Bath & Beyond, it ended on 6/08/2023. And sure enough, on that same day, we did in fact write down to the time.
I am begging conspiracy theorists to understand there are only 365 days on a non-leap year. So any event has a 1 in 365 chance of being on that same date. That happens sometimes. There's always a day that's the same day, and things happen on every day.
Right, that they closed that bidding. We saw GameStop post the horse head on 6/08. So the dates do kind of line up here, right? It does look kind of good. So
it's a nice stock. It sure would be a shame if someone diluted it.
I will say it is very interesting as well. Could there be a possibility that, you have a situation here where Ryan Cohen's going to move on this thing prior to this date? It's very possible. Look, and we'll analyze some of these interviews as well. But, the main thing is that there is something going on behind the scenes here, right? Ryan Cohen obviously wants to take over eBay. The board has basically rejected his offer. The board has made certain comments about Cohen, and Cohen in some of these interviews has
that he's incompetent and greedy.
Also made certain comments,
true statements
about not only the company eBay, but also some of these board members, right? He said that these are a bunch of losers running the company. He said that eBay needs Ozempic, which I thought was hilarious. But again, there is something going on here behind the scenes. Now, there's a high probability, right, that Sal is onto something here where you could in fact see Ryan Cohen kind of make his move before this date. So I do like it. And Sal, if you would like to join the show, there's a link out there. Would love to have you if you have anything else to comment on this. Sal actually had some really good posts that I kind of want to take a look at as well. And then there's a couple areas of DD that I want to cover. Kinky had written something really well and stuff like that. So we'll take a look here. So Maui says, always amazed at how you can take any info and create your own tinfoil. Doesn't need to make any sense. Well, that tinfoil is legitimately true. It is Roaring Kitty's birthday. And again, the stalking horse bid, I mean, you can't make this shit up. They're the ones who posted this shit.
You're making it up. You're making connections where there are none.
And, so it's not like I'm pulling this shit out of my ass.
Many conspiracy theories involve real events or things that you can point out and say, this is a thing. The issue with conspiracy theories is not necessarily always the points. It's the lines you draw between them, the narrative you draw to connect various things. That's where conspiracy usually takes place, is in those connections.
At the end of the day.
Not in the premises themselves, though there is a fair amount of that as well.
I'm just trying to track back and make the connections, man. You know, I mean, they're there, right? The signals from Trump, you know, the 117 and
Oh yeah, he thinks Trump is involved in this now.
Halo. And actually, we're going to take a look at it too this afternoon. It turns out that Trump has bought eBay 4 times this year. Okay. And some of those buys.
eBay is part of funds that he buys into. He's a billionaire. He buys into lots of funds and stuff, some of which include GameStop, because, yep, it's a company. It's going to be involved in some funds.
We're actually in March, the same month, okay, that that Ryan Cohen went and renewed some of these trademarks as well, which I think is very key. All right. So yes, you know, I think that some of these dates do kind of correlate. And I think that there is, you know, these are the kind of the signals that we should be picking up on. Right. And, you know, call them signals, signs, whatever you want. But even Roaring Kitty said,
do I think PP actually believes this, or is he just scamming at this point? I think he's scamming. I don't think he believes this shit.
The same thing, right? There are most certainly these like signs that are out here. So let me take a look, because Sal had a couple good posts regarding some of these interviews here, but I guess we can kind of start there and I can give you guys my opinions on it. We can watch the entire interview if you want. It's like 30 minutes long. I'm sure most of you guys, including myself, have already kind of consumed a lot of this interview and kind of analyzed it. But if you guys want the full interview, we can look at it, or we can kind of hit the highlights here, which would probably be better. So just keep that in mind. All right. All right, let me, since we're already on Sal's page here, why don't we just take like a couple looks here at what he is talking about. So,
okay, enough PP show. God damn it, he's annoying.
It's not financial advice, not legal advice. This is just my assessment of the reported data for GME. You guys know by now that I don't trust any data that these guys put out. You guys know that there are dog pools inside of dog pools where these guys make trades that nobody gets to see, not even the SEC or the DOJ. And even with the data that they release to us, you can see that the stock is being manipulated by the bad actors, and the SEC, the DOJ, the FBI are fully.
How do you know that bad actors are manipulating the stock? The price is down.
Aware of this business model. They've been aware of it for years, and they do absolutely nothing about it. What they have shown us over the last 5 years is this. If bad actors engage in fraud and manipulation, and the ones losing money are retail investors, pension funds, and institutions that follow the rules, the SEC, the DOJ, and the FBI practice willful blindness. They only care about fraud and corruption if the fraud and corruption costs other 1%ers money. I mean,
I would agree with that.
That's really the bottom line. Anyway, here's the GME data. The reported volume, 3,133,027. Those numbers are extremely low, which means they're slowing down, in my opinion anyway. They're slowing down with the manipulation. They didn't stop. They won't stop. But they're slowing.
Can't stop, won't stop, GameStop.
Down. Because they believe that the eBay deal can go through. They want to tell us they think it can't go through. But they know that the deal can go through. I believe it will go through. And I'm not telling anybody to buy, hold, or sell GameStop. I'm just telling you that I believe the deal is going to go through. I believe that Ryan Cohen is going to get to purchase eBay, and I believe that's going to have a positive impact on the price of GME stock price.
Christ, he talks so slow. Never mind. He just talks so slow. All right, that's it for today. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out and watching some of the meme stalkers with me. I appreciate it. Like I said, we'll probably cover them again once it's clear that the eBay thing has fallen through. I mean, it is, I think, pretty clear to most people, but, you know, takes them a while. So that might be a bit. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to do a regular stream and a patron-only stream. I'll probably be taking Monday off for the holiday, but I will see y'all tomorrow. So let's see who we're going to raid on Twitch. Oh, no problem, Felix. Oh, I hope you have a good rest of your day, too. Borthwolf. Oh, we will raid Maisie. Oh, Minecraft. Very nice. All right. Have a great Saturday night, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Be safe out there. Will they hold on to the eBay thing as long as they held on to BBPY? Time will tell. Yeah. All right. Night, everyone.